welcome to our View from Home Hot Wheels Legends Grand Finale, hosted by Jay Leno's Garage and presented by Mobile One. I'm Jared Deenda, and it's a pleasure to be back here. This is the house that Denham built. Jay Leno, that's right. The car collectors welcomed us into his clubhouse, and we're going to celebrate Hot Wheels Legends 2021. I'm Jared Deenda. I announce drifting, rallycross, kids party. No, I don't. But I announce a lot of different things, but it's an absolute pleasure to be here. Again, this year, this is it. It all comes down to this. 10 vehicles, but only one can win. The 2021 Hot Wheels Legends Tour finale is here, and we're about to end the hunt for the next life-size, custom car worthy of becoming a Hot Wheels diecast. It all began in 2018, was the first Legends Tour to celebrate Hot Wheels' 50th anniversary to find a winner. And then, in the past few years, thousands of custom cars have entered the Hot Wheels Legends Tour with stops all over the globe. This year, fans, families, and car enthusiasts worldwide participated in virtual as well as several in-person Hot Wheels Legends Tour stops, submitting their custom builds. That's right, auto enthusiasts ranging from car designers, race car drivers, collectors, stunt drivers, you name it, judged the cars from across the world and selected 17 semifinalists. And based on the most fan votes, your votes on Hot Wheel Officials IG, the Mobile One fan favorite car, was chosen, joining the ranks of the other semifinalists. Again, after careful scrutiny over the last couple weeks, more judges from across the globe put their heads together in 2 semifinal rounds and narrowed it down to the 10 most die-cast-worthy cars. And now, here today at the grand finale, our remaining contenders will go up against each other for a chance to be immortalized as the 2021 Hot Wheels Legend Grand Finale winner. Okay, I get it. It's Jay's, but he's going to start up cars. He just does what he wants. We're in his house, so why not? Keep it coming. Just going to cruise it. Nice, nice. I assume this is Jay, and there he is. Did you just learn how to drive stick, or where'd you just come from?
No. I just came from Seattle. It's pouring.
Oh, gosh. Well, it looks great. I mean, you have the canopy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jay. And watch how elegant.
How you get out of this thing?
This is an iconic car, man. The Hot Wheels.
It is an iconic
The
car.
Legends, right?
What is that? Oh, how are you?
Yeah, that's right. You haven't seen one of these in a while.
No, this thing is, I remember this from 50 years ago. It's hard to believe this car was built and designed back in the 60s.
That's right.
It still looks cool with this new livery on it and everything. It's very nice.
Yeah, and what's really cool here is this is the one of the twin mill, because the twin mill existed in 1/64th and then kind of pumped it up to this form. We're kind of reverse engineering now with the Hot Wheels Legends winner being shrunk down to 1/64th.
Well, see, I live in a hilly area, so I need that extra engine to kind of get over the hill.
But what do you think miles per gallon is on this thing?
It's gallons per mile. It's
Okay.
more. Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, not the most fuel-efficient vehicle.
No, most definitely not. Hey, it's great to see you back. I mean, thanks for having us back here. What do you
Yeah,
make
it's
of the
real
whole
exciting to
experience?
have everybody come because, as I said, this is where the future engineers of tomorrow come from. I meet so many engineers, guys in their early 40s that started with Hot Wheels. That got their juices flowing, and it's cool to see it happening.
No, I appreciate it. Again, you come here, this place is a folklore, and it all is in real life of, paint, carbon fiber, fiberglass. It's really awesome, so thanks again, man.
Thanks. Yeah, it's fun to see what young people are doing and what ideas they're coming up with, and it's really interesting because they don't have anything to draw on. It's all out of their imagination.
That's
all
right.
of us, we like retro because we remember, or we like futuristic. But when you're a young kid, you just draw what you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Well, again, I know you're a kid at heart, so grab a seat, Jay. We're going
All
to
right.
talk about. I think you're right over there.
Oh, I thought I was right here.
No, you are right. You are over
I am
there.
right here.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry. I'm throwing you off. So I'm going to pull up this right now because the Mobile One team has reimagined the twin mill, and here it is. Look at this thing. This 1/64th. Absolutely awesome. Now, the twin mill with a special edition to conclude the 2021 Hot Wheels Legends Tour presented by Mobile One. Mobile One Advanced Synthetic helps protect many of the most powerful production engines today, and the 16-cylinder twin supercharged twin mill is no different. Mobile One Fan Favorite Award is created to give car enthusiasts across the country a voice in picking their favorite car at each Hot Wheels Legends Tour stop. The Mobile One team wanted to pay respects to the millions of Hot Wheels fans who have stopped by a Walmart location or tuned in online over the past few years. So now you can get your hands on a brand new special edition twin mill. head on over to Mobile Promotions, M-O-B-I-L promotions.com/Mobile One Twin Mill. Look at this thing. It is absolutely awesome. There it is. And again, check out the URL. You can see it down there on the bottom. And check that thing out, Jay.
No, very cool, very cool. Mobile One is actually the official oil of our garage here.
Is it?
We've used it for years and years. And you know, the nice thing is you can go an extra 5,000, 10,000 miles without changing it because it's a synthetic, you know. So,
now that's a testimonial. Yeah. Jay Leno, there you go, approves it as well. So hold on, look at it. Ding, there you go. So check that thing out. And again, of course, it would not be the Hot Wheels Legends Tour without Walmart, our partner since the beginning. So thank you so much to Walmart. If you're watching this from the US, head on over to walmart.com/Hot Wheels for exclusive and special edition Hot Wheels. You know they go fast, right? So our friends watching in Canada, you could go to walmart.ca/Hot Wheels for legendary deals. And a special thanks to our presenting sponsor, Mobile One. Coming up soon, we're going to talk about NFTs. Do you know what they are? It's an acronym. It's really cool. You like collectability. That's why you're watching, right? You're watching from here at Jay Leno's Garage. So let's keep this party going. Yeah, like, that's not yours yet, Jay. Yeah, I'll just take that from you.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
I know you collect all the cars.
Welcome to Hollywood. He gives it to you and then takes it back. Yeah.
All right, so here's a lay of the land. Here is our roadmap, no pun intended, or maybe there is a pun intended here. This is how it's all going to go down today. We're going to meet our judges. We have our previous Legends winners. We have our preview of our finalist cars. I'm going to break down the criteria, right? There's 3 criteria. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Finalist cars, part 1. We have our Hot Wheels NFT moment. That's what I was just talking about, all about the collectability. Finalist cars, part 2. We'll talk about Jay Leno's diecast. Yeah, we're dropping some news. If you're a diecast collector, again, that's why you're watching. We're dropping the Jay Leno diecast. Stay tuned. Finalist cars, part 3. Finalist cars, part 4. So that'll culminate 10 vehicles. We'll get our judges' picks and Jay's picks. And then finally, we will announce our 2021 Hot Wheels Legends Tour winner here at Jay Leno's Garage. And look at that. Wow, you guys are like magicians. We're not even in Vegas, Jay. You normally, right? That was awesome. All right, so let's start. I'm gonna walk on over here. Joining us, he's been on Hot Wheels Legends stops before. Brendan Vatuski is the lead designer for Monster Truck Diecast and the Red Line Club vehicles at Hot Wheels. He joined the brand in 07, working on track and play sets. And you build life-size Hot Wheels. Yep. Sometimes, again, you reverse engineer. You build the car, do this, do the car, and go that. Most recently, what do you have most recently?
My newest build is a 55 Chevy Gasser.
Yeah. So. And then what did I see at the SEMA show?
That was a 67 Pontiac Firebird.
You're a busy man. How are you busy? You know, I mean, how do you have time to work on actual Hot Wheels diecast?
I don't have a social life.
Okay. Well, I mean, good. Given the times, it's okay. But it's great seeing you. And how cool is Hot Wheels Legends?
Oh, it's a blast. I mean, we are exposed to so many cool vehicles that we would otherwise never see, and just the ability just to see so many cool ideas, the inspiration, the energy and the passion of everybody that attends, whether it's, you know, someone just at the show, someone bringing a vehicle. I mean, it's just so amazing. Cool. And now doing it globally, it's just off the charts.
And it helps you guys as designers, right? I mean, we got a few Hot Wheels designers here. They're doing the work for you and just put it on the shelf, put it on the peg. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, moving on next, a senior editor at Car and Driver, where she oversees content development and car reviews. She's also served as an editor for Hot Rod Magazine and Roadkill Magazine. Elena Scher. And I understand you have a relationship with Hot Wheels because you wrote a book.
I did. I wrote a book about the racer Don Prudhomme, who was sponsored by Hot Wheels in the 70s, and it was a huge deal for both racing and for Hot Wheels.
I know you're primarily more of a muscle car gal. How do you think, like, the tuner stuff? I mean, are you more akin to, I'm seeing your shoe.
Oh, I'm, you know, challenge accepted across the board. I'm totally down for anything.
You like it all?
I do.
Okay, I like it. Well, thanks for joining us. All right, moving on down the line. Again, representing Hot Wheels once again, design director of Hot Wheels and Matchbox diecast vehicles. He joined Mattel in 04 and is a graduate of the Art Center, which is an iconic place. Mr. Brian Benedict, happy to see you again.
Yeah, good
back
to
at Leno's. We've had a few rounds this year. What kind of responsibility is it to choose the right car that gets immortalized?
Oh man, it's a tough job. You know, I mean, there's so many cool entries. You know, throughout the year, we've seen so many cool cars, and you want to let everybody in, right? You want to create all of these cars. They're so cool, but you know, eventually, you know, it comes down to one, and that's what we're here for today, and it's exciting.
And Riley Stair's vehicle was so awesome, and you know, it was all white, but I think it's also cool when you get that canvas and you guys can really modify it with some really cool deco.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, we launched it with the white deco as Riley had it. But now, you know, we get to have all kinds of fun with it and do all kinds of liveries on it. It's going to be exciting to see.
Love it. All right, thank you so much for joining us, Brian. All right, moving on next, a Danish-American automotive designer, entrepreneur known for designing icon luxury cars, BMW Z8, NBD, no big deal there. The Aston Martin DB9, again, and then a vehicle with your own name, the Fisker Karma. He's the chairman and CEO of Fisker Inc. Henrik Fisker, thanks for joining us.
I'm glad to be here. It's exciting.
Yeah, it seems like you've been traveling during COVID, and you have another vehicle that you've debuted and teased and all this. What is that?
Well, we are showing an electric SUV actually this week at the LA Auto Show. So I just came back from Europe, where we actually are starting prototypes. So it's going to come out next year. So we're really excited about it. You know, my motto is never give up. So I've done a lot of stuff in my life, but I thought I'd give it one more shot here and try and see if we can do a really cool car below $40,000. I've only designed cars that was over $100,000. So I thought it's about time I do something that, you know, more people can get hold of.
Get that technology, price point driven, attractive looking. What's it called?
Fisker Ocean.
I like it. All right, feeds into the whole ocean. Obviously, you know, our plane is made up much more ocean than it is land, so that's awesome. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Fisker. I'm joking. All right, so joining us next is a Korean-American automotive content creator from Honolulu, Hawaii. That's right, known for driving a Mazda RX-7 FD drift car. She currently hosts a YouTube series called Power Over It. Sara Choi, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Honored to be here with respected people in the community, and happy to be here. Excited.
That's great. Yeah, and again, content creation. How important of a role does that play in our whole automotive kind of world and our whole, you know, family? Like,
I mean, I think for me, I started off with the whole tuner scene. So
Yeah.
I think my audience just reaches all the tuner scenes. So basically, I think this is great to kind of show because I posted it right now.
Yeah.
I was like, everyone watch this. There's cars I don't even recognize here. Like,
That's good, though.
Yeah, so they'll see a whole different world. And it's just everyone's connected in the world. It's all one. So
That's cool. And so coming into Leno's Garage here, you were like,
Right.
what is that? Are you asking Jay
I don't
questions?
know what I'm looking at. He was teaching me all day.
Well, she's a Honda girl.
Right.
Yeah.
I
And
started off as
I showed her my Honda 600, which was Honda's first car.
right.
600 cc's. I mean, the valves look like golf tees, little tiny, but a high, 9,500 RPM red line in 1964. And I want her to drive it to get her opinion, because
I like that.
she drives all
81.
the modern stuff. It'd be fun to hear her her viewpoint on the vintage stuff as well.
Well, she said she's been talking to you all day. I think it's going to take a whole week for you to educate her on this. And would you agree that being a car guy or a car gal, a car person in general, it's hard to know everything about every single car? You're learning something new every day.
Oh
You've
yeah,
been
of
given this
course. I
collection.
mean, that's the fun thing about the hobby is it's only about 125 years old. So you know what I'm saying? If we were studying Egyptology, we'd all be covered with sand and dusty and dirty, you know. But the whole history of our hobby really only goes back about 125, maybe 150 years at most. So there's so much technology. The fun part is stuff they had at the beginning. It's like there's nothing new. They just didn't have the metallurgy or the technology. They knew about 4 valves and Hemi heads, but it was hard to implement, you know?
Yeah.
And young people are always amazed when they go back to 1913 Peugeot, twin cam, 4 valve, Hemi head, in 1913, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it's fun to be able to share that knowledge too.
The progression, technology,
Right, exactly.
just the advancements, and you know,
Yeah.
you know, Mr. Fisker talking about development of his vehicle, the Ocean, price point driven, all those things come into effect. It's awesome. Thank you, Jay. Again, Jay Leno is one of our judges, by the way. All right. Again, thanks for letting us. We're going to throw a party after this. Yeah. All right. Just go ahead and crack the party. All right. Moving on next. Vice President. I want to make sure I get this title right. Otherwise, I don't get paid. So, Vice President and Global Head of Design for Vehicles at Mattel, a position he has held since 2015. He joined Mattel in 2003 as a graduate of Brown University and the Rhode Island School of Design. Mr. Ted Wu, how are we doing, bud?
Awesome. Jared, thanks for being here. Huge honor to be again hosted by Jay. Thank you so much for having us. This year's been great. I mean, I think bigger and better with the Legends Tour. I think we're gonna have a great show. Some amazing cars here today.
And it's real. What I really like is the international vehicles are inspired by American. I don't want to give too much away, but like, you know, this vehicle in this country is represented. You kind of get just this match culture.
It's great. I mean, the car culture community is really represented today. I mean, from a global standpoint, we have cars from all over the world. Again, great show. Let's get into it.
All right, yeah, that's right. Well, we can't get into it yet. We got to jump down there. I don't know why he's angry. I don't know why he is, but he's mad. He is Mad Mike. Mad Mike, you might recognize him from the different TV shows, including Pimp My Ride and Driven. What are you so mad about, Mike?
It's not like mad angry. It's like a mad scientist.
Okay.
I just create all kind of crazy stuff, and I put stuff in cars that don't belong in cars. It's awesome job to have. I've never worked a day in my life.
I like that. That's good. And Mad Mike Driven, Mad Mike Connected, that's what you're all about. Connectivity, technology.
Exactly.
So I'm wondering how many TVs can we put in your TVs in your 164th? And that's my favorite. Yo, dog, I heard you like TVs. That's why I put TVs in your TVs.
Man, I'm going to put 3 TVs underneath your TV.
Oh, man.
Underneath the box. Yeah, so you can watch TV while you're watching TV.
I literally probably quote you a few times a day. Like, I'm just kidding. But thank you for joining us, Mr. Mad Mike.
I love it, man.
All right. So before we get into our finalists, here's a quick look at our previous Legends Tour winners, as well as this year's Tour semifinals that won their respective rounds, but unfortunately did not advance to the finals. Remember, it kicked all off in 2018, celebrating 50 years of Hot Wheels. And the winner overall is Luis Rodriguez. That man, a smile says it all. The 2Jet Z. I'll give you one guess what engine resides in this open wheel hot rod. Yeah, 2JZ. Get it? 2Jet Z. Looks like a jet. Has the 2JZ engine. Then we moved on to 2019, the 57 Nash Metropolitan. Greg Salzillo and his son, smile and happy as can be. And then eventually that vehicle got immortalized. And there it is, the 164th Hot Wheels diecast. Then in 2020, we were here just a year ago. Snoop Dogg was jumping for joy. Fluffy was pumped, but Riley Stair was the most pumped with that 1970 Pontiac Trans Am. Like I say, sponsor me white. Well, it got sponsored by Hot Wheels pretty much. It got endorsed because it looks awesome, so congratulations. Now, this year's round winners in Australia, these vehicles did not make it in, but they all are definitely touted. Beautiful looking vehicles. The Australian round winner, the 74 Ford Escort, could do some burnouts, and it looks great. The 2021 Miami Round 4 winner, the 1929 Ford Model A. I really think this thing won because of the juxtaposition of what you would normally see in Miami. Great looking vehicle. And as we move on to Brazil, this vehicle is deemed YBL, Yellow Black Lethal. Just an amalgamation of, you can see drag car, street car. This thing is street legal, and it's got a parachute up back. Unfortunately, it does not advance on, but love the vehicle overall. And again, talk about juxtaposition. We go to Detroit Motor City. The winner in Detroit is a 75 Opel Manta. Some people have never even seen this vehicle, and I think that's why people scratch their heads, but overall, really cool vehicle. It's begging to be driven. Now, just most previously, a semifinals from Chile, this vehicle, 1947 Ford Coupe. Jay Ward from Pixar had a great amount of education information on the history of this particular vehicle. Now, as we go to the Lone Star State, 2021 Houston, Texas, round 7 winner. This is the so sick C6. Great looking car. Again, that sponsored me white, big broad arches. Unfortunately, does not move on, but again, a notable mention. This is a vehicle I was talking about. A vehicle in Japan that's a Japanese vehicle, but definitely is just absolutely screaming red, white, and blue. So again, inspired by a little bit of stock car, a little bit of drag car, but all unique from Japan, that Cedric 130. And finally, in El Segundo, the Glass House 1974 Chevy. Great looking car, and really accumulates all things Southern California. So really cool. And now here are your semifinalists. Are you guys ready to see your semifinalists?
Yeah.
That's
let's
right.
do it.
I said, are you ready to see them?
Yeah.
All right. I know some people are grabbing their coffee and some people are, grabbing different beverages, but I appreciate you joining us here. So, let's walk through again. This is just like kind of a quick little teaser of what you're going to be seeing here today. 10 vehicles, but only one can win. This is where I talk, to our different judges and talking about their kind of forte, what vehicles they're into. Nissan 350Z, really unique vehicle. This car really caught our attention. I like it at night, but the vehicle's here in the building, so I really want to scrutinize it more. Representing Mexico, this 1990 Volkswagen Rat Rod. Now, 90, this iconic Beetle, the lines, obviously been modified. Really cool car. Then just kind of a mash culture, the high class, the Mercedes-Benz Gasser. Don't know what's in the barrel up front, but it says high class. It's got a great story. This car really exudes garage spirit. We'll get to the criteria in just a little bit. Now, this vehicle, you might need a tetanus shot to drive this thing, but it is driven around Georgia. I know my boy Killer Mike and Rutledge, they see this thing rip around Georgia, and it's really cool. You can see mismatching panels, but overall, that is an absolute hot rod. Now, our New Zealand winner, this is the third iteration, from what I understand, of the livery, and I think they absolutely nailed it. This Capella Mazda 616, what's really cool about this thing is it actually rips up that Leadfoot Festival mountain. The Malaysia round winner, this is a Daihatsu Mira. You might be even wondering what this vehicle is, but I think I could stand up in that cabin. Has more of a 6-head as opposed to a 4-head on that vehicle, but love those Daihatsus. Then our dub round winner was the 2020 Lulu. This gentleman's retired, took him multiple years to make and fabricate this vehicle. The vehicle is here, and I get to see it, and we get to see it for the first time. Then our UK round winner, the Volvo P1800 Gas. There ain't no saint, because it's an homage to the Saint TV show. So really cool. Again, the gassers, they're really getting popular, as they have been for multiple years. The Mobile One fan vote winner. I love this car. I remember when it was in Battle of the Builders at the SEMA show a few years ago. The 1990 Porsche 911 Baja. This vehicle is begging to be absolutely hammered on, and I have seen videos of it doing just that. And finally, our Germany round winner, our 2018 Venkstern, 14 horsepower. I don't know if I could fit in this thing. I don't know if we could even move if I'm in that thing. But overall, some really cool cars. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Agree? All right. All right, here's our judging criteria. There's 3 overall. I'm going to break them down a little bit further for you. And this is what all the vehicles have been scrutinized over our past, since 2018, 19, 20, and now 2021. Authenticity, creativity, and garage spirit. What is authenticity? Well, basically, you see a vehicle and you say, that looks like a Hot Wheels. Let's shrink that thing down. It might be, hey, Jay, I like that car over there. It might be a little expensive for me to purchase it, but if 1/64th, that'd be cool, a lot cheaper. And if you crash it, you don't have to pay insurance. Right. Yeah. All right, so authenticity. Does it look like a Hot Wheel? Creativity. You have to think, Hot Wheels has created over 25,000 different designs and over, how many billions of vehicles?
8 billion vehicles.
But who's keeping count? 8 billion vehicles have been made. Largest automotive manufacturer in the world, right? So again, creativity is looking for something new, something we haven't seen or made before, different engine and a power plant, a station wagon with this blower and that and all the other things. So that's creativity. Finally, garage spirit. That's where basically, unfortunately somebody passed away, they carry that torch, or just a really cool story about father and son and kids or their children working, the daughter. That's really just that X factor, just taking it over the top and saying this car has authenticity, creativity, and finally, garage spirit. All right, so I think it's about that time. Are we ready to see our first vehicle?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Our first vehicle is a 2003 Nissan 350Z, and this is our Speed Society round winner. But before we see the car, because it's going to roll in here in just a moment, let's hear from the owner, Ashley Robinson.
Hi, my name is Ashley Robinson, and the name of my car is Marilee. Marilee is a combination of my name and my girlfriend's name, because without her help, I would have never gotten this far. I found this car wrecked, no one wanted it, and I had a vision for what this car could become. So to be here at this place, at this point, it's been an amazing process. Something that I wouldn't trade for anything. Just thinking about sharing my car with the entire world. There's so many pieces that were handmade by myself that express something specific to exactly what I was feeling and looking for in that moment. And to be able to share that and people see it and connect with it, like they already are, but on a global scale, it would be a dream, literally a dream come true.
You can tell this gentleman's hands-on. He's in his garage. You see the welder back there. Jay, I'm going to you first and foremost. What do you think of this Z?
Well, that's what I love about it. We feature the builder, not the owner. You go to a lot of these big concourse, and you wrote the check, sir? Yes. I bought it in 2015. I sent it to a shop, and 5 years later, it's finished. Well,
right.
But they didn't build it. This is the actual hands-on guy. And the fact that it's built on a budget, like the paint is not perfect. That's fine.
Yeah.
But the welding is, the detail work, it's really fascinating to me. The exoskeleton idea is really interesting. The hand formed on those fenders, yeah, it's different, it's unique, and sometimes not having a lot of money is a great thing because
Okay.
it's great for creativity. No, but it's creativity.
Yep.
You're forced to work with what you have, and I don't think this car would be any better if you gave the guy $10 million to build it, because this is his vision of what it is, and it didn't involve a lot of money. It just involved a lot of work and a lot of imagination.
What I like is it's zombie with a capital Z, right? Because this car rose from the ashes like the Phoenix, right? I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I want to point out technology to you.
Uh-huh.
How many TVs it got, dog?
You see it's an iPad in the dash. I mean, the technology in this car is incredible.
Yeah.
Because there's an iPad in the dash. But it's also got airbags on it.
And so it's exposed. That's what's really cool about this.
And you can see what it's doing.
All right, so working in the house that Hot Wheels built, or Mattel overall, but what do you think of this vehicle?
I have a special place in my heart. I actually owned a 2003 black 350Z.
Was this it?
You crashed
I
it and
might
left
need to
it?
check it.
Reunited and
What's the
it
VIN?
feels so
on it?
woo. There you go. This is your car, bud.
This might be my car.
After the accident?
Yeah. Half of my body is actually made from steel, so we were actually partners.
So applying this to 164th.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is super striking. You look at it, you're like, what is that? I think, we think about what does a vehicle look like, not only in 1-to-1, but obviously in 164th.
Yep.
And this is stunning. So to me, this is kind of quintessential Hot Wheels car.
Sarah, over to you. Again, just being the import gal, kind of the tuner scene.
I've seen, it's been a hype to do a crazy cage setup either in the front or
Right.
like wrapped around, or even this exoskeleton thing is like pretty cool, so it will hit this generation's audience. It's pretty gangster. I just
Okay.
wish it was
With a hard R,
static.
gangster,
Coming from a
not
tuner
gangster.
person,
Yeah.
I wish it was static, but I think it's pretty cool. to
Static, you mean,
provide-
as opposed to having bags, just it having coils
Yes,
or something. More racy.
to make it completely gangster.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
saw that. So
Unless he has a high driveway or something, I would totally.
See, noted.
You're forgiven, but
I think they're from the Bay Area. So going up, what is that? What's the windy street?
Lombard?
That was.
Yeah, Lombard Street.
Lombard
So maybe areas needed in the Bay Area.
Right.
But what I'm seeing here is they're mimicking the lines. If you took this big, GT wing off, mimicking that natural 350Z, and then
They
top
need the wing. I mean,
huge wing fan.
Okay.
I love
right?
big wings.
lemon pepper or what's your wing?
Sweet chili.
You were talking about gangster. I don't know if you saw this. This is like Silence of the Lambs up here. So the headlights. What do you guys think? Fisker, Mr. Fisker, you're analyzing this?
You know what I love about this car is, and I'm a visual guy, and what I love is that most people don't know how complicated vehicles is. I just came from the factory. Seeing this here kind of combined with these beautiful surfaces, which is just attached to this complicated structure, which engineers have to engineer to make it structural, rigid, safe, and everything else. I think this is awesome, and I also love the way he put the tail lamp right in the right place. And I love, of course, the wide track.
Awesome.
Sits low. But I think that's such a great idea to actually put forward the structure in that way is kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's got the external. So here's a little J homage right here. The external oil cooler. That's always cool. That's kind of like a one gun style, right?
It's
And the
sick,
other cool thing about this is it would make a great toy. Just having the great color break like that. So when you see it on shelf, it's not just a red car, blue car, but it's half black, half silver, or any two colors that you make it. You've got solid, you've got exposed. You're going to gravitate towards that if you're looking amongst a whole rack of Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah.
It's a bold visual statement.
Yeah, really cool. So again, I think there's deco opportunity because, again, give you a little canvas here. So there it is, the Nissan 350Z. Congratulations for just being part of the top 10. As we move on to our next car, representing Mexico, the 1990 Volkswagen that is owned by Christian Soriano Ledesma. The vehicle's not here, so let's take a look digitally at this vehicle.
Hola, mi nombre es Cristian Soriano y soy propietario de un Volkswagen Rad-Rod. Fue un proyecto de hace 9 años en conjunto con mis hijos. La verdad fue un trabajo padre y divertido. Poco a poco lo fuimos trabajando y fuimos elaborándolo el carro poco a poco. Les presento el auto de mis sueños, mi Volkswagen Rad-Rod. Le pusimos una base para alargar la suspensión 25 centímetros. Los faros son de una motocicleta Harley, al igual que los espejos laterales. Las puertas son tipo suicida. Esto para darle un aspecto al carro que se vea un poco más atrevido. Los pedales es lo que más me encanta. Son 3 huellas, que es lo que significa los 3 pies de mis hijos. Se le metió un medallón de un modelo 56. Recortamos la carrocería. Esto para que el carro se viera un poco más ancho y darle al motor un poco más de vista. Para mí sería un sueño tener mi auto hecho Hot Wheels. Sería un orgullo que mis hijos jugaran con él y mis nietos. Para mí sería algo impresionante tener mi auto en miniatura. Sería mi sueño hecho realidad.
You love it. Obviously, the Volkswagen Bug, the Beetle, whatever you want to call it, that is all rat rod. 1990, because they were reproduced down in Mexico. What do you think of this
they
vehicle?
were making Beetles in
Yeah.
Mexico until
Recently.
90s.
Yeah, exactly. Hence
Last
that
week,
beautiful-
yeah.
They might.
One's rolling through right now. But what do you make of this
Well,
rat
I
rod?
think it's interesting that he calls it a rat rod because I think it's actually a really nicely done car. I mean, the fabrication looks great. The matte paint looks really cool. I like that it has sort of a drag race element, but it also is talking to like Beetle culture with those foot pedals, the little like foot-shaped pedals.
Yep.
They're like so hippie and funny, and the chrome engine in the back. and it has an amazing stance.
Yeah.
Like it already looks like a toy.
Because it has the Baja bug, but it's not obnoxious. You know, when you get those, sometimes those Baja bugs, they have the negative camber, and they're like, you know, they're squatting. And this thing has more, because again, the Hoosier's out back, the white wall's up front.
Nice stance.
This, I mean, your work's already done.
It's got a really nice stance, and I love the right proportions of the lower roof. Looks really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's got really good proportions.
I mean, Volkswagen Beetles and Bugs have been in 164th.
Huge. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, anything Volkswagen is always huge for us, you know. So we got a lot of Volkswagen fans, you know, amongst our collectors, and so this would obviously be a big hit. I love it myself. It's really cool. The stance, like I said, and just that squat roof. I love the details too, like and just like how he added, you know, the 3 pedals represent his kids, the 3 kids. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, so 3 pedals. Yeah, if you read the copy there, he says, yeah, 3 pedals each foot representing my kids. Harley Davidson wing mirrors, Harley Davidson headlights.
Well, you know what I love about it? It's a Mexican car built by a Mexican kid using Mexican parts. It's like what hot rodding used to be.
Right.
You grow up in a town, you find the nearest junkyard, you take parts from that. You know, I imagine this whole car was probably built with parts in and around where he lives. And that's the real spirit of it to me. There's nothing expensive looking on this car. It all looks like, you know, a 90 Volkswagen. It probably was a wrecked car. You bought it cheap. You took the body. Yeah, I think it's just brilliant. I think it's just brilliant. It's classic hot rodding in the sense of you're recycling and you're using old parts, you know? Yeah, really neat. Really
You took the words out of my mouth, and I was going to go back to, what's that? Yeah, you like suicide doors?
Oh, man,
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
And like you
Nice
said,
touch.
it adds to the lines.
Exactly.
He widened that back. So Jay actually hit on something. Hot rod. Now it's a generalized term. It used to be kind of synonymous with American muscle, all these things. Hot rodding's now, it's really kind of universal. Would you agree? I mean, you were an editor for
It's my favorite thing about contemporary hot rodding versus kind of this like stricter years of hot rodding. I mean, I think when I first got into cars, there were all these rules like what kind of car can you like, and you cannot like any other kind of car, and you cannot take anything from any other kind of car. But like true hot rodding, the very beginning of hot rodding was, like Jay said, it was what is around you, make it faster, make it cooler, make it like prettier or uglier, just make it more.
Yeah. Speaking of pretty, what do you make of this Matuski?
Wow.
I mean, look at that hairline. Dude, built for speed. He showed up
That's
and
right.
ran through.
I mimicked my hair today based on that Beetle.
There you go.
No, I
Great segue.
love it. I think it's cool. I mean, everybody touched on points already, so it's hard to do that. But I mean, also a fan of vintage VWs. I like the throwback to the oval window in the back, and of course the suicide doors and stuff like that. So seeing those details are really cool.
Mike, not a lot of technology on here, but I think that's pay respect where respect is due.
Yeah, especially with that Volkswagen look and just the chop top. And like I say, I love those suicide doors and that. Is that turbocharger on the back?
Yep, I believe so.
Oh,
yep,
man.
right there.
Yeah, that's just so sexy.
So it's got the power, it's got all the
Yeah.
cool, funky quirks. Does this transition to 164? The foot pedals, unfortunately, I don't think we can shrink those things down.
Oh, man.
I think for sure you look at the silhouette of this car and what the passion that it evokes, the emotion, it for sure feels like a Hot Wheels car. I do want to give a shout out to our fans in Mexico. I mean, really, really great engagement. A lot of great stuff coming out of there, and this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. Sarah, I got to go to you. Again, we kind of went around the horn here. Everybody chimed in. Are you Volkswagen gal?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a 90s baby. I grew up with like, you know, punch buggy, you look out for a buggy and like excuse to punch someone, right? And so I see this all the time looking for it. But I love the color, it's vintage. I think with the whole Mexico history, it really hits the criteria of the garage spirit.
Yeah.
of the whole thing. So
Yeah, and the kid's
awesome.
working on it with
Yeah.
him together. He's so proud. And
I
that's-
really like this
And,
one.
and like you said, it would be an absolute dream to be immortalized as a diecast, right?
Yeah.
Are there any Fisker Hot Wheels diecasts?
I don't think they're that old.
I mean, I know a guy. Right here. So there is the Volkswagen Rat Rod, a great introduction for Mexico joining the party, and like Jay said, all Mexican parts, built by Mexicans, really cool. So thank you for their submission. So. All right, at this time, judges, go ahead and grab a seat, grab a drink of water. I'm going to excuse you here briefly because we're going to be talking about NFTs. What are NFTs? We're about to find out. I'm super pumped to talk about the Hot Wheels NFT Garage. It's Hot Wheels like you've never seen it before. The launch of Hot Wheels NFT Garage is the way to take home valuable and rare digital diecasts from Hot Wheels. These NFTs are pure Hot Wheels, developed by the same team behind iconic Hot Wheels diecast. That's right. So you might have heard about them. We're going to educate you on what they actually are. In fact, I'm really excited to have one of our digital designers, Zach Howie Brewerton, here with us. High five, bro. Who is working on our digital cars for Hot Wheels NFT Garage. But first, man, for those that don't know, you can give me the details. What's an NFT? And I will tell you everything he says you're going to believe because he's got a beautiful accent. Zach?
Thank you. Pleasure to be here. So, yeah, NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, put simply, they're a way of authenticating digital art or collectibles on the internet. Right, so if you think about when you buy a car, one of the things you're going to want to do eventually is to check the VIN number to make sure that it is what it says it is, right? NFTs.
You're like, that doesn't match up.
Exactly.
Yeah, that doesn't match up.
NFTs, same thing, right? Is make sure it's authentic, it's exclusive, and most importantly, it proves that you own it.
All right, so what is happening with the Hot Wheels NFT Garage? Because seeing the buzz on IG, you're seeing it kind of around, but how is Hot Wheels an NFT and that whole world colliding?
Yeah, so super pumped to announce that the Series 1 of the NFT Garage, the Hot Wheels NFT Garage, is launching on November 16th. This is 40 brand new cars, right, from our legendary Hot Wheels designers. It's going to be across multiple mini collections. We've got Checker Flag, Hot Wheels Race Team, of course, the Garage of Legends, right?
Yeah.
Each of these is going to come in one of 4 rarities, right? So there's going to be between base, rare, premium, and non-fungible treasure hunts.
Treasure hunts.
Wouldn't be a Hot Wheels collection without treasure hunts.
And that's what I mean. Every time I go to the grocery store, my kids aren't even with me. I'm still checking pegs. So now you're checking digital pegs, which is really cool. So, you know, we talk about NFTs. You can see how rare they are. I think that's, you know, if they're watching this at home, they like the rarity. They want to create that FOMO, have the limited dish, right? That's what we're all kind of looking for. But what about real Hot Wheels?
Yeah, so collectors lucky enough to get their hands on either a premium or treasure hunt rarity NFT will be able to redeem it for a physical car. Now, we're giving these the full premium treatments. They're going to have premium deco, custom packaging, and of course, real rider tires.
Awesome.
So these, you know, in addition to the mint runs being so low, these are going to be some of the most exclusive Hot Wheels we've ever made.
That's really cool. And I'm seeing a QR code. What can we do?
Yeah, so again, exclusively for you viewing at home today, you will be able to either pull out your phone and scan this QR code or head over to hotwheelsnftg.io/drops, and we are giving away a limited edition promo drop just for you today. So make sure you go over there and get them before they're gone.
Ah, dude, I'm glad I'm wearing steel-toed boots because you just dropped them. There you go, drop it like it's hot. Hot Wheels NFT Garage. Again, thank you so much, Zach, as the full Series 1 drop will be available for purchase on hotwheelsnftg.io at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, November 16th. Did you hear me? 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, November 16th. Good luck out there and happy hunting. Thanks so much, Zach. Appreciate it. Okay, so as our fans know, during each of the Virtual Legends drop, we drop limited edition Hot Wheels. They go fast. They go like that, right? So you want to get your hands on them. You could choose from 3 bundles. I'm going to go back here. Where's it at? Where'd it go? Where's it? George, where's that truck at? We're talking about 3 bundles, including the 83 Chevy Silverado diecast and an exclusive Hot Wheels LED. Oh, there it is. They stole it from me. Put it on camera. There it is. Don't miss your chance to go as these go fast. We'd also like to thank our presenting sponsor, Mobile One, on this year's Hot Wheels Legends Tour. And don't forget the Twin Mill giveaway. Just go to mobilepromotions.com/Mobile1TwinMill. So again, the bundles are there, hotwheels.com/Legends Tour Truck, the 83 Chevy Silverado diecast, of course, Legends Tour swag, and thank you to Mobile One, mobilepromotions.com/Mobile1TwinMill. I mean, look at this Mobile One Twin Mill. The iconic lines of this vehicle that started life as a 1/64 diecast, the Garage of Legends, and then they pumped it up. And you can see this thing ripping in as Jay wrote it in with this brand new livery, and now you can own it. You can see the website right there. Go and check that out. Again, you can multitask. I know you can. You can chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. So you could definitely go to mobilepromotions.com/Mobile1TwinMill. And again, Mobile One, as Jay said, is a great testimonial. Mobile One is utilized here in Mr. Jay Leno's garage. Really cool, iconic vehicle. the twin mill, and for rightful reasons. So very cool vehicle, really cool die cast. So as speaking of Jay rolling in, thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
What's for lunch? Don't leave me hanging.
Oh, just looking at your special lunch. Yeah.
Okay. Don't leave me hanging. What is this special lunch?
You got the kale sandwich.
Oh, good. Yeah. Kale wasn't popular until like 5 years ago. What happened prior to 5 years ago? What was kale called? Lettuce?
I can't say. It's a family show.
Got it. All right, keep it moving on. All right, so moving on to our next vehicle, this 1968 Mercedes-Benz 250S. This was the throttle round winner. This car is on screen, but let's hear from the owner, who has a very endearing story. I think this really embodies garage spirit, so let's hear from Kevin Clark.
Hello everyone, my name is Kevin and I'm the owner, operator, and builder of High Class. It is heavily inspired by gassers, but it melds a few other styles together. I found the perfect candidate, a 1968 Mercedes 250S that was abandoned in a field, and after picking it up, I put my best friend Colby to work and we laid down the basic livery. Unfortunately, not even a week later, I received devastating news. A driver ran a stop sign and Colby hit the A-pillar. He didn't survive. What was once a long-term build immediately turned into a short-term memorial project. It was a 3-month learning experience using parts from my '73 Camaro, materials I had lying around, and a majority of the work was done outside in the elements. Despite what the vendors say, I don't have my own shop. The chassis is from a '94 Chevy S10, the rear differential is from a junkyard Ford Explorer, and the engine was built by a good friend of mine, Scott Waterfield. I can't put into words how much it would mean to have the last project my best friend worked on immortalized as a Hot Wheels. It would mean absolutely everything to me.
Thank you so much, Kevin. A great story there, High Class. I'm going to go to a gentleman who you knew I was coming to you, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, right out of the gate, you have a gasser yourself. Does that really embody the gasser spirit? Is it kind of his own idea? What are your thoughts on High Class?
I would say yes and yes to that.
Okay.
The Mercedes is probably the last car you'd ever think of as a gasser, and yet he made a killer-looking, wicked cool gasser out of it. You know, the story, I mean, it's almost, you know, brings a tear to my eye, really. And then just the passion and just the execution of it is just so cool. Like seeing that will just stop everybody in its tracks. Doesn't matter if you're American, foreign, whatever cars you love, you're like, whoa, what is that thing?
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. I mean, I love it. It's got attitude, it's got stance, it's got presence. You see what it is, you know what it is, you know what it's going to do, and yeah.
Yeah. Elena, I'm going to go to you because this kind of feeds off of our conversation about hot rods. Taking all these components found, the story included, all of that, High Class. Is this the Hot Wheels Legends winner, 2021?
Well, I think that the story really is something where a lot of times people are like, well, why do people like cars? It's just a machine, it's just a tool, like a, you know, toaster or something. But the thing is that most people's cars do have a connection to another person in them. You know, it hopefully isn't always such a sad story. I mean, it's terrible to lose a friend. But as long as he has this car, and the whole time that he was building this car, it's like his friend was with him. And I think that that is something that people don't understand about car collecting. It's not just a machine. It's everyone who you've ever thought about, talked about it with, worked on it with.
Yeah, that's really cool. Mike, what do you think of this?
The backstory is incredible. I'm sorry about the accident. There's a lot going on in this car, man. I mean,
just confuse you, just give you a headache?
It just speaks like I was out in the backyard and I saw this and I saw that and I put it on this car. What's the thing in the front?
That's
it's like a little barrel, you know, like the St. Bernard dogs that would rescue people from
Yes.
falls, you know, like I feel like
Yes.
it's like a skiing rescue thing.
There is
Full
a
of
lot.
whiskey.
Well, they're from Canada. It's got, I think,
Well,
Colorado plates.
There's that, but also like the old gasser and drag
Oh, yeah.
cars in general would have a small fuel tank up front, so that's probably representative of that.
Ted Wu, I know you're into Porsches. Are you into Mercedes-Benz gassers?
I love this car. I think it's hilarious, though, that Mad Mike thinks that there's too much in this car. This is the man who put a chandelier in a car. But yeah, I mean, if you look at it again, silhouette, it looks like a Hot Wheels vehicle. And the definition of built, not bought, you know, I think this being a project car that really has obviously some passion, enthusiasm behind it. The story is amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's a great build.
Brian, what do you think? I see
Yeah.
You kind of want to chirp in.
This is one that I'm particularly drawn to. You know, I think like Brendan said, it's an unexpected body on a gasser theme. You know, so I really appreciate that. And you know, and I was talking before about you want something that's visually striking, and I think it really stands out, just that stance and proportion and everything, and you just don't expect a Mercedes like that.
Henrik, does this car offend you or excite you?
You know, I lived in Germany for many years, so I'm familiar with a lot of these cars. But one thing I will say, he might have a little bit of a future vision there. All cars are getting higher these days, and I bet you that car can go through deep water better than a modern $100,000 SUV.
High class, it's just got mud all over it, so it's awesome. Sarah, what do you think of this?
I mean, when I saw this car, I was like, wow, this might trigger like OG, like vintage Mercedes-Benz.
Is this gangster?
It's pretty gangster, because I think when you can tell a person's personality by the way their taste and the way they model cars, and this guy and his friend, inspired by his friend, they didn't care what people would think. And it's for a reason they made it up to the finalists, so I think I can see it definitely as they did something different, because it's been a car that's been around generations. Everyone's done something some way, so they were totally different. We're gonna do something different.
Yeah.
So I think they achieved that.
Awesome.
Is that a Rolls-Royce emblem on the front grille?
I think it is. I think it is the flying, right?
Well, you know, I wish it had been all Mercedes. I wish it was a Mercedes gasser, like a 6.3 engine that you built, so the theme sort of flows through, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's, you know, I look at a car like that and go, oh, I could restore that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. Is surprise, Jay. That car came from your fleet, and that's your actual vehicle.
Oh, that's my car.
Yeah, that's your car.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But like you say, I mean, that's a classic example. Like, you know, I did an interview this morning prior to this.
Yeah.
Why do you like cars? I like cars with a story. And when you know the story, then it really makes, oh, that's why you did it. Oh, there's a reason for everything. So that's what makes it compelling. And that it changes your whole look and feel about it once you hear the story.
Yeah, yeah. You're kind of like, I don't know, and then you're like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
That car's kind of cool. No, I like it. All right, well, thank you guys and gals for your feedback there on high class. Next up, we move to the 1969 Daytona Charger Superbird. Cars in the building. Watch out. Again, might need your tetanus shot here. This is our road and track round winner. Let's hear from the owner, Christopher Palmer.
Hi, my name is Chris Palmer, and I am the owner of Scraptona. It is a rolling piece of art that literally came together in all the colors it was found, and now it actually looks like a living character from the movie Cars. There are so many unique features to this car, I wouldn't even know where to begin. From the wide body, to the flared out front fenders, to simply a shell being skinned on top of a hand-built chassis with a 740 horsepower NASCAR motor stuffed into it, with 12-inch wide wheels, custom-made wide fives, and 15-inch wide tires front and rear. The car is actually a 69 shell with coronet front fenders and a Superbird nose. What would it mean to me to have this car become a Hot Wheels? It'd be amazing, especially since I'm a toy collector, Hot Wheels collector. It'd be amazing. It'd be a once-in-a-lifetime type situation.
When you look at this car, this does scream Hot Wheels, right? I mean, Benedict.
I mean, it's got a Hot Wheels logo on it. So.
It does? Oh, well,
Yeah.
Well, he was like, here's $5 too. Like, there's a $5 bill that says Brian on it. Jay, I know when you first saw this car, you were wondering, is it this? Is it that? Daytona Charger Super, like?
Well, I think it's definitely a Hot Wheels car.
Yeah.
And it does have that look of, you know, the two guys from Dukes of Hazzard decided to build another car, you know? Yeah. I mean, I love that it's not all polished and it's not one color. I mean, I love the sort of,
yeah, go ahead.
Let's, you know, it reminds me of kind of like the Rum Runners.
Okay.
You know, if this was a decade or two earlier, this is what you'd be running the hills of North Carolina
Exactly.
with a big tank full of moonshine.
Run and shine till the end of time.
But in terms of having a Hot Wheels look, and it's easily identifiable, and it's got so much visual things, so many places to look, and your eyes settle and read, and the doors are different colors. So it's a fascinating vehicle, yeah.
Yeah, the iconic wing, the lines of it, I mean, all of it. I think when you open the door, it has a Waylon Jennings soundtrack that plays.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a deep cut.
Is Mike installing a TV right now?
Mike, relax, bro.
It has GPS in it, so leave it alone.
Is it really?
That's,
I'm making love to it.
okay, all right, he's going to get after it. I mean, what do you think?
Well, I've always been a fan of the second-gen B-body, just for the obvious reasons of TV and movie influence as a young kid. And just seeing this is really cool. It is interesting that it does have a mix of both Superbird and Daytona parts because everyone knows they are different. And it's just neat seeing them kind of mashed up like that. Love the stance, the wide body, and the fact that, hey, this shows me I can build a Charger for like not, selling my house.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right? And just throw it together. What's that? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I love how he actually drives it around.
Yeah.
Atlanta,
Yeah. Like I said, Killer Mike and Rutledge, they've seen this car picking up some barbecue around the corner. 740 horsepower.
This thing's a beast. I mean, what stands out to me though is what I think Mad Mike and Henrik are looking at, which is just the visual interest of the car, right? Yeah. He didn't try to smooth over all the panels. You can see where he's bolting things together. It's a really, you could spend hours looking at this car. I think it's a really, really visually cool car. Again, what we're looking for in Hot Wheels. So.
Henrik, I see you out front.
I think that it's got a really good proportion, the way it's lowered down, and it's just got that kind of dream proportion that every designer wants. I think what's interesting is actually this idea of just having all these different parts put on exactly the way he found them. And I'm amazed that it actually fits that well.
Yeah.
Honestly, because it sort of fits.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Like you see the it's a popular word, the cancer here. You're seeing some Bondo. What's really cool is sometimes when you see it from the side, it doesn't look like it's bulbous. This car actually still adheres to the lines of the fenders, right? So if you just look at it straight on, but then you go here, oh yeah, it's wide body. And like you said, the oversized, cartoony caricature offset here, like just with the rims and the wheels. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, it sits great. It looks good in profile. Any wing car looks good in profile, no matter what you do to them.
Yeah.
They're so wild looking to begin with, like from the factory, that you can't really mess them up. Some people might say you'd mess this up, but it's hilarious that it's both Daytona and Superbird. When you first read it out, I was like, oh, somebody doesn't even know what kind of car they have. But no, it's actually both cars. It is both cars. And I don't know if anybody has heard this car run, but if there was a category for like best sounding car in the competition, it's between this and one of the other ones that's coming up.
Ooh, I like that. Nice tease.
Well, Dolly Parton had a quote I would attribute to this car.
I know where you're going with
it takes a lot of money to look this cheap.
Like
Henrik says he's amazed at how everything fits, but it probably took a lot of work to get it to fit that badly, that good. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, but I'm not giving smart. I'm being a wise guy. It is, because you realize to get that look of, boy, that's really crap. And then you look carefully and you go, oh no, a lot of work went into this. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to look like that. Yep. So it takes a lot of money to look that cheap.
Great, absolutely great quote. There you go. So thank you, judges. And normally the Dukes of Hazzard has obviously the different flag up here. What country is this? Is this Scottish? What flag? Does anybody know what flag this is? The white with the red? Regardless, moving on. I know if a helicopter's going to land on top.
I don't think it's Scotland. Okay.
No, I don't know what it is. Somebody figure it out. Go ahead and Google it. All right, so let's move on to our fifth entry representing New Zealand, the Whānau. Absolutely love that country, and Mad Mike was our international judge. Shout out to my boy Mad Mike, not you, Mad Mike.
The other one.
There's multiple Mad Mikes, and he's Mellow Mike.
Also mad.
Yeah. All right. So our fifth submission here from New Zealand is the Mazda 616 Capella, owned by Mark Strawbridge. Let's hear from Mark.
What's up, legends? My name is Mark Strawbridge, and I'm the owner of the 1973 Mazda 616 Capella, aka the Myth 16. If I had to define my build, I'd call it a tribute to those that pioneered the mighty rotary. It's not period correct, but we've built it the way they did, with similar parts they did, but more importantly, it's driven the way they did. With the help of close mates, we transformed the car first into a street car themed as a Japanese police car, then ultimately into the circuit racer you see today. That build saw the period-styled roll cage, custom work wheels, and fresh 12A PP. Since then, we've continued to make tweaks in the name of speed. This is the third set of graphics to be laid over the original patina, but inside and underneath, it's highly detailed. To have my car immortalized as a Hot Wheels diecast model would be insane. It would be a dream ending to this amazing journey. My 1-year-old son Hayes will then be able to play with a toy version of his dad's favourite car, making all the brap sounds all day, every day.
I mean, this car looks good and it performs even better. Like I said, I love New Zealand. I have multiple friends down there. The whānau, that's Maori for family. But Sarah, I'm going to go to you. You're import gal. You have an FDRX7. Have you ever seen a 616 Capella?
No, not in person, but I love that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, for a New Zealand guy, too, he understands completely the JDM culture, and he just knew how to, like, just do everything. I love this. I love this car.
Mazdas and rotaries are really popular in
Yeah.
Australia and New Zealand, so rightfully so. But this Capella, I think with the, like you said, it has that JDM flair. And speaking of flares, the unpainted flares is kind of JDM.
Yes, and he was gangster enough to even touch the body of that car to put the over fenders on. So I just love this car.
Wu, going over to you. This pays tribute to the 70s Mazda factory racers like racer Yoshima Katayama. So again, that history runs deep there. Is this your Legends 2021 winner?
It certainly could be. I mean, yeah, giving a nod to sort of the Japan Touring Car Championship racing. I think the livery is super interesting. From a Hot Wheels standpoint, we've done the RX-3, haven't done this body yet. But a lot of popularity with that casting. So this is definitely in line with what our fans like.
And it's great because it's international submission, but it's a JDM car. So,
and that's what you were talking about earlier. I mean, this sort of great mixing of cultures and sort of perspectives is what makes kind of this car great and all these cars great.
Yeah.
I've got a question for
Yeah, please.
Chris. Is there a way that you can make the Hot Wheels make noise? Because I mentioned that there was another car that was incredible sounding, and this one, I mean, this guy's neighbors know every time he starts that up for like 15 miles.
Yep. The BRAP. Jay, are you a Mazda guy? I've seen
I'm a Mazda guy. I have a Cosmo and I've got a Mazda RX-8. You know what I love about it? I love it. It's so completely opposite of what Americans are doing. It's like, I love when I go to England, I've got a Capri, it's got the big block V6. Well, there's no big block V6 to us. You know what I mean? But to them, anything past 2.5 liter might as well be a 426 Hemi, you know? And that's what I like. It's just a different way of coming to the same answer. We ask a question, everybody has a different solution, but the same answer is different, fast, interesting, and that's what I like. It's classically, there's nothing American at all about it, but somehow it is. You know, it's a different interpretation of it. And I find that really fascinating. It's like when you order pizza, it's got pineapple and ham on it. What?
Hey.
You
But
know,
then triggered. Mad Mike's triggered. That's why he's mad.
My favorite pizza.
It's not from Hawaii, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Hawaiians don't eat that.
Yeah, they put spam on the pizza.
Even worse. But
Even worse. I'm joking. Henrik, going to you. What do you make
You know
of
what I
Mazda?
think is really cool is that it's actually a relatively sedate sedan, right? It's a very normal vehicle, and he's mastered to get this thing look super powerful and wild and given a whole different feel to it. I mean, that thing just looks mean. I mean, you don't want to see that thing in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, Mark Strawbridge, he talks about it. But again, there it is ripping. Who's familiar with the Leadfoot Festival? Either fans watching at home or, Leadfoot Festival, that's absolutely awesome. Rod Millen's event, and just all those events in New Zealand, they love, they do skids. They have skid competitions. Have you ever been to one of those, Brendan?
I have not, but
you know about them.
I want to drive that car. I mean, that thing is cool. And another thing, to his credit, he's made a four-door car cool. I mean, you talk about rules of hot rods. For so many years, no four-door cars.
Yeah.
That's just cool.
No, it's and Mr. Benedict, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, again, I love the stance. It sits just right, and it's purpose built, and I think that's just awesome. And the paying tribute to the old factory racers of the '70s is such a cool idea.
So, Mike, you love pineapple.
I love pineapple, but what I'm trying to figure out this whole time is, does anybody else see that there's two headlights on one side and one on the other?
Yeah, what is that, Sarah? Maybe you could anybody touch on that? There's two headlights, one headlight. Intake, or is it oil cooler, or again, that's
going around. Like, I can't tell.
I thought it was so unique.
They keep spinning it. I can't.
Yeah. Well, they did that in the '60s with the Ford Thunderbolt and a few other cars. That was fairly common. So I think it's probably an intake.
Very cool car. The the Capella there. As here is our run of show. We're halfway through. As we've seen 5 vehicles. This is our run of show, and this is how it's going. And break it down. Up next, Jay Leno's Diecast for all you collectors out there, and that's why you're watching. We're going to learn about this brand new product and project, Jay Leno Diecast. We'll see our finalist cars, part 3. Finals Cars Part 4, our judges' picks, and then Jay gets to pick one because this is his house, this is his clubhouse. And then finally, we will crown and announce our 2021 Hot Wheels Legends finale winner and who will be immortalized as a 164th diecast. So, Brian.
Yeah.
We have a new collection. I'm going to grab a seat if you want to jump up here as well, or however you want to see fit. But it's a Jay Leno collection. What's really cool here, Jay, as we pivot around, and this is just a small assortment of what's going to be debuted.
Of what we'll be introducing next year. But yeah, we're pleased to announce that we're doing a whole Jay Leno's Garage collection. Yeah, we've been working very closely together on this. So. Yeah, so we're doing a whole series of his cars from his garage in the car culture line, as well as in our premium entertainment assortment. So here's one of the cars you see there. That's probably one of the most iconic cars in your garage.
The fun part about this is they brought initially things to make go, that's fine. And they would go, no, see, we didn't have this little piece here. We got to, I go, I didn't even notice that. No. So, I mean, to me, it looked fine.
We're sticklers for detail.
But because when I was a kid, you put M80s in them and you blow them up. But to me, the attention to detail.
Wait, is that Tiny Jay right there?
That's me. That's
Tiny Jay sold separately.
Yeah, Tiny Jay sold separately.
But the really cool part is they've got the right number of fins on the cylinder. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
So you were part of the detail.
Yeah, and Jay was so helpful along the way. I mean, like he actually pulled out his belly pans so that he got good shots of those for me, so I could make sure that.
Like I drive it around without the belly pans, just because with belly pans catch fluid, and if you have a fire. Poof. You got a bomb, So I take they go, no, we got to put the belly pan on. So I went up in the attic here, the garage, and pulled out the belly pan.
We put Jay to work.
I'm thinking, guys, it's good enough, really. Don't worry about it.
So the Jay Leno collection, we have just a small assortment here, and these. I mean, what's the whole process, real quick here? But I think it's really exciting.
So what you're looking at here are 3D prints and at various stages, actually. So. This one is the most recent that we just reviewed and got sculpt approval on. The EcoJet, this is a solid model. So this is kind of before we turn it over to our engineering partners and part it out and everything. Like these two are parted out, right? So these are final patterns. These are the actual patterns that will be tooled up and produced. So
very cool.
The 3D printing is amazing now. I mean, we can print in any color we want. So I try to print it in the colors that the cars are, and so you get a real sense of what it's going to look like.
And what I think is really cool, I touched on it earlier, is this car. There's only one of one in the world. This EcoJet, right? That's what it's called. It's here in the building.
Right.
You only own the real one, but now everybody can own one.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's really good.
And this car won what? What kind of accolades this vehicle?
It got Hot Rod of the Year and at SEMA because it's a hot rod. It just has an Honeywell LT-101 jet engine, another one of the big attack helicopters.
Yeah. So cool.
Crazy, huh?
Well, awesome. Thank you, Brian, for your execution.
Thanks,
and
you
Jay
guys.
for shrinking down your cars.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
Very, very exciting with the Jay Leno collection. Again, thank you, Brian and Jay. As we move on to our Malaysian vehicle, and this is really cool. I love Malaysia. I love the people there, and of course, I love the food there. But this is really kind of like the food that is there. It's just a mashed culture of so many different influences. So let's take a look at the Malaysia round winner, the Daihatsu Mira, owned by Abdul Wahab bin Bahari. So let's take a look.
Saya idol cinta pen. Ini kereta saya, Mira Walkthrough Van Airfly Classic. Kereta ni asal dia Mira Walkthrough body petak. Saya dah ubah kepada body part Daihatsu juga, Mira L5. Jadi saya masuk body part depan, belakang, dan dalam saya masuk kayu sebab nak bagi dia nampak klasik. Saya memang peminat wheel. Memang daripada dulu semenjak saya kenal Hot Wheel, saya memang bercita-cita dan berhasrat jikalau ada satu masa diizinkan, saya memang mengharap kereta saya yang saya reka untuk dijadikan satu diecast. Jadi saya amat berbangga dan bersahati jika kereta ni dapat direalisasikan untuk menjadi sebiji diecast. Dan sangat bangga jikalau dia daripada satu company yang nama besar, iaitu Hot Wheel. Bye.
Mike, I'm coming over to you. Look at this guy.
What are you going to do with all that empty space, Mike?
And you know the cool thing about this is one of the first cars we built on Pit My Ride.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Daihatsu Hi-Jet.
Okay.
And it's just incredible. And the throwback to the rat fink, oh man, Big Daddy Roth, yo.
Right, Ed Big Daddy Roth.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. This is, you know, a Malaysian car, Daihatsu Mira. It's very Japanese with the American influence. I mean, it has. This is the Epcot Center of vehicles. It has all the countries involved here, right?
And just think about it. On that wall, I could possibly put a 65-inch TV.
Not one, but two 65-inch TVs.
Oh, man, it's just an incredible build. I love the vehicle.
Right.
He did a great job on it.
Ted,
and I love the colors.
Have you ever done a Daihatsu Mira?
We have not, but this is not the first one we've seen entered into the Legends Tour, but this one's really, really nice. I like the approach. First of all, shout out to our friends in Malaysia. Huge collector community there for Hot Wheels, so we see you, thank you. This is one where I feel like he's really embraced sort of the whimsicalness of the car itself. I mean, he's played that up. He's got the fun ladder. He's got the roof rack, the sort of lights on the roof rack. It feels like a really fun car. I can't help but think of late legendary designer Ryu Sada from our team. He would have loved this car. It kind of has that sort of Nopo or tuned aesthetic that he's known for. So yeah, I mean, great one right here. And again, I think Ryu would have loved this one.
Jay, you were asking, did he modify? I like kind of stumping you a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. You know the fun part about this? When I saw his face and he was talking, I don't speak Malaysian, I don't understand Malaysian, but I knew exactly what he was saying.
I like
You know what I'm saying? I like the communication. If I met that guy in the street, I almost feel like I could convey my thoughts to him and him to me, even though we don't speak, he probably speaks English. But, so that's what I found fascinating. The look on his face, he just looked like every car guy you ever meet. The enthusiasm, the excitement, and that's what really makes the hobby fun.
And that's what I always say. If you don't know anything about the car, find the owner and ask him about it. They'll
Right.
chew your ear off forever, right, Elena? Like, what do you think of the Daihatsu Mira? And again, just the mash.
Well, first of all, my sister's name is Mira, so I automatically like it. Shout out to my sis, she's rad. But also, any like K vehicle or variant, I'm like super pro. Like tiny cars and tiny trucks. I know everyone thinks of me as a muscle car person, but I own an Opel GT.
Okay.
So I'm into tiny cars, and tiny trucks and tiny vans are even better than tiny cars because they're that much more shocking.
Yeah, baby car, baby car. Yeah, I think the Daihatsu is really cool. It has that JDM. I know my boys at Lean Customs. They've done some cool stuff with their Daihatsu Mira. And again, it's not just the kind of full OE. Sarah, what do you think of the vehicle?
So I used to live in Japan for a handful of months, and there's a lot of different type of Daihatsus. But this is like an OG, and it's that van, Mira van. So it's a pretty rare Daihatsu that people in Japan especially would scream over. And so the color is so pop and great. I can definitely see it as a Hot Wheel car. It's also a rare car. It's a Daihatsu. Everyone loves Daihatsus. They try to ship it here in America. So they're pretty popular.
Yeah, they're really cool. Like the steel wheels, kind of Americana vibe.
Well, that wood interior is something that designers have been trying to do in show cars for years, and he actually built it, which is pretty amazing. And also, what's amazing is it looks super tall. I bet you could stand in it, and being able to make such a narrow, tall car look fairly stable is pretty cool. So he widened out the track, and it just got that feel that it may tip over, but maybe not.
I like the roof rack too. It's kind of got a surf wagon vibe too, obviously with the Big Daddy Roth.
I love how he took something kind of mundane and practical, like a delivery van, and made it into something fun and exciting. The stance again is just awesome, and the detailing and like Mike was saying, like the sort of reference to U.S. American hot rod culture is really cool.
And Ted, to your point again, Malaysia, great diecast collector and community. They always watch, they always tune in. They love automotive culture down in Malaysia and in Southeast Asia in general, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. I mean, big part of our fan base, and we thank you guys. Thank you so much.
There you go. All right, let's move on to our 7th submission here. This was our dub round winner, and I love this vehicle. This gentleman's been working on this vehicle for multiple years. It's his dream vehicle, and it's here in the building, so we can see it in the shiny metal that is the 2020 Lulu. And let's hear from the owner, Mr. Paul A., I believe it's pronounced Kalanian. There you go, Paul.
Good morning. I'm Paul Kalanian, and this is Lulu, my all-aluminum two-seat sport car that I built here in my shop. I utilized my father's lathe, milling machine, and skills he taught me as a child to build this car. I wanted to build something that was very light, very low, and powerful, and I remembered Mickey Thompson's Harvey Aluminum Special, which acted as my inspiration to build this car. The car is cut from 6061 aluminum panels that were water jet cut and heliarc welded here in the shop to form a very strong monocoque and bulkhead chassis. I really hope that Lulu will be immortalized by winning this year's Hot Wheels contest. She will serve to inspire generations of children to dream their dreams and go ahead and build them, as I did here with Lulu. Lulu and I thank you very much for this opportunity.
Jay, I see you looking at me. You're like, me first, me first.
Well, he's got the right color hair, first of all. That's because I believe old age and treachery always beats youth and inexperience. You know? But the thing I love about this is it's a real car. I like the Pagani-style mirrors on it. I like the fact, I think this is probably any car we've seen. If you had to drive from here to Chicago, you could do it in this one. Okay. I mean, it looks like it handles, it looks like it's fast, and the metalwork is unbelievable. Yeah. Look at those panels. The fact that they're not all scratched from, you know, missing a rivet or a screw. I mean, it's pretty amazing. I look at the suspension, the uprights. There's a lot of engineering and thought went into this. I love the fact that the whole engine is visual here. I love that it's not a big V8. It's a light car. It's a small car. It's got a smaller, what's that, 2.5 liter?
They're saying 2 liters, so it's a GM LTG 2 liter
dual
overhead Turbo 4.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
it's a great motor.
Yeah, I think it's really fantastic, and just these panels. Look how they all fit. It's amazing. I mean, every screw head lines up. They're exactly the exact distance apart. I mean, this is built by a watchmaker. Right. You know, this is a guy who could take a watch apart and put it back together. The detail. I mean, this here. This just reminds me of Horatio Pagani, doesn't it?
Exactly.
The big eyelashes, he calls it.
Exactly.
There's nothing that's not, it's all in perfect scale. I mean, any person could drive it. It looks comfortable. It looks fun with the Brooklands type screens. I think it's just almost Fura. The body looks, the front end looks almost Fura. Yeah, I mean, the wheels, everything. I think it's probably the most professionally built car in terms of.
It's one of one.
Yeah.
It's one of one. There's the only one in the world, right, Henrik?
You know, what's interesting here, I think, is every designer always try to make the lowest body side they can. I think he definitely wins on that. I mean, look at this section. I almost feel like it's an airplane wing.
Right.
That's what I said. It's faced the wrong way.
I guarantee you, if he does a sideways drift in this will be the most aerodynamic vehicle in the world. I mean, look at this. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just, but I agree with what Jay says. You feel the proportions of everything here, the kind of very gentle sculpture is just amazing. And just everything is proportional, correct, done. Like Jay was saying, the mirrors is the right size. It just has that feel like you want to jump in it and kind of just drive it.
It's begging to be pounded on.
It's just, and all the details, like all these little screws are even correctly done. Like, look how they're all lined up and how you had to probably bend every single panel. And it's actually not, so normally if you do this, if you end up just doing an extrusion, it's fairly easy. But you can actually see he put plan view into it. And there's some emotions happening. And that's actually what's difficult when you build a car. So I agree with Jay. This is probably what I've seen, one of the best builds, and where you really feel there was a lot of emotion going into it.
Speaking of emotion, I will tell you that this is the first time I'm seeing this car. We've only seen it digitally through our Hot Wheels Legends Tour stops. I didn't really care for this car digitally. Seeing it in person, I actually do appreciate it a lot more. It really does.
Yeah, you got to see it in reality.
Just how shiny and chrome it is.
Every car you got to see in reality. Every time a new car, you see it in pictures, you're like, it's not that great. Then you see it in reality and you start appreciating what the design and the engineers were thinking.
That's what a lot of people say about me. You really need to see Jared in reality. Absolutely. What do you think?
Well, he mentioned Mickey Thompson as an inspiration, which I think is great. You know, a lot of people maybe don't know Mickey Thompson's name, but I would say that he might be one of, or maybe even the most important person in hot rodding and racing history. He did a lot of amazing things. The other person that this makes me think of is Colin Chapman. I think about Lotus, the early Lotuses, you know, light and simple. It's nothing that you don't need. It's everything that you do. I wouldn't want to polish it, though. I bet it will be very fast on your Hot Wheels test track.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's so clean you could eat off it.
Yeah, it's really clean.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, of all the cars that we've seen, this would be the one that would be in Jay Leno's garage.
Yeah? Would you agree? Oh, well, he's breaking chairs
My
over
chair,
there.
there you go.
He was offended by that comment, or he's excited about fell out of his chair.
Yeah. This one would wind up in my garage.
Yeah, it's a really cool car. So, man, like I said, in the flesh, in the shiny and chrome and new, it looks great. Again, Ariel Atom kind of has an Ariel kind of vibe to it.
Right.
Yeah. So really cool car. But as we move on through our vehicles, again, thank you to the Lulu. We also want to thank our presenting sponsor, Mobile One. Don't forget to head over to mobilepromotions.com/Mobile1. Again, mobilepromotions.com/Mobile1 Twin Mill, and have a chance to get your very own twin mill. There it is in person. As also remember, the NFT Full Series 1 drop will be available for purchase on Hot Wheels NFTG.io at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, November 16th. And here it is again, that Mobile One Twin Mill, great looking vehicle in person, and of course in the 164th. So as Jay drove that thing in, like you said, gallons per mile as opposed to miles per gallon. Really cool car. This one's mine. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. As we move on to our next vehicles. You guys having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great way to start Saturday. And again, just culminate our Hot Wheels Legends 2021 grand finale. Who will join the Garage of Legends? We will find out again. So here is our number 8 submission. I really like this car. Again, we just have all these different MASH culture, but this is our United Kingdom. So where's Alex at with that beautiful accent talking about the NFTs earlier? This vehicle is waving the Union Jack, and again, the owner is going to talk to us about the Volvo P1800 Gasser. This vehicle is deemed ain't no saint.
My name is Lee Johnson, and I'm the owner, driver, and builder of the Ain't No Saint Gasser. Approximately 7 years ago, I was looking for the car to fulfill my dream of the Gasser. So we eventually tripped over the Volvo. This was a rusty old Hulk, due for restoration, but unfortunately just that bit too far gone. So I bought it anyway, put it back to our workshop here in the UK, and stripped it out, ready to make the dream. We put in the big block Chevy, supercharged it, big carburetors on it, 3-speed transmission, Ford rear axle as per usual, and then there it was. To have the car immortalized as a Hot Wheels car would be ultimate. It's got its presence. Everybody we talk to always comes up to us and says, that looks just like a Hot Wheels car. So we're in hope that you guys will give us that accolade and make one for us.
Thank you so much, Lee. Mr. Gasser, right to you. Volvo P1800, come on, man.
Yo, this thing is sick. I love it. It's, I mean, the surprise element of it, I mean, you got that originality.
It blew your hair back.
It did. It did. That's just from the ride in the car. You saw that thing on the track. I want to drive that one too. But no, seriously, this thing is really cool. I love the surprise factor of a Volvo. You know, you think of a Volvo, you think of like a stodgy engineer or something going to teach college or something. But this is just attitude, this is performance. I love the wheels sticking out, I love the engine sticking up, I love the color green. I love the fact it's right-hand drive. I love the exhaust that sticks out the side. I mean, it's just cool. It's got stance.
Yep.
You know, this thing pulls up next to you, you're gonna let it go first.
Mike, I hear you under your breath, yeah.
It's like a fighter jet. Yeah. It's like a 454 fighter jet. It's just incredible. Like, I mean, look how clean the paint is.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
There's that tank out front. It has all those Gasser elements that say American, but it's definitely not. Jay, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, this wins the Gasser thing here to me because everything in it is consistent. I love the fact that he's in England and he tracked down some Hoosier tires because it's just such an American build.
Yeah.
I mean, I love when Europeans do an American thing and they always take it to the next. They always find something we miss. And the cleanness, the attention to detail is really, now see, he's got, just as the other one had the barrel in front, he's got the fuel in the front there as well. And yeah, I love the grille. I love the blacked out lights, or not blacked out, but it's got the aluminum panels in there.
Deleted as they say.
And I love the fact that the body is beautifully and meticulously painted and maintained. It's not just stick a body on and go down the strip, you know?
Yeah. And it has some American flair there too, even with the fins, the lines of it, right? So like the big fins, kind of not as big as some of the 50s American cars, but still has that kind of silhouette.
Yeah, that's what's fun when you go to England. There's so much neat stuff in little garage, little cottages, little sheds. Yeah, everybody's got a shed.
Yeah.
The house is falling apart, but the shed is fantastic.
Mint.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's just incredible. It's really something. And it looks like a Hot Wheels car. It looks like a car that shouldn't do any of this, and they've taken it to that level. The detail on the engine. The other gasser, we didn't really see the engine at all, really. This is a true gasser.
In your face.
In your face, you know, the supercharger sticking out almost out of the roof. Yeah, it's really an amazing piece of work.
Jay, not at a loss for words about this vehicle. I was excited about this and the Lulu. I'm just going off, just test the temperature. But I'm going to go to Elena over here. Have you ever been to Santa Pod Raceway in the UK?
I have, and in fact, I've been lucky enough to see this car in person. I've seen it race. I've met Lee, and I've met his daughters. You know, another great story. He didn't tell it in the video, but he built this car with his whole family. They all go racing together. I think he has 3 daughters. And his daughters are racing it now. They're driving it. So he's been teaching them how to drive, and now they're racing. And Santa Pod is this incredible track. Like, people are like, drag racing in England? That's not a thing, but it is, and it's been a part of their racing history since the 60s. They were very into the early NHRA development, and they took a lot of inspiration from that, and they built their own rules, and they built their own track, and it's so cool to see what they've done with American drag racing culture to make it their own, to make it European. Also, I really love the Volvo P1800, and I don't think you guys make one.
Brian, is there a Volvo P1800?
Matchbox.
Yeah, but not Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
So we need to
Well, he's here
for
Hot Wheels.
I need it on my desk.
Brian, what's your role again? Yeah, Matchbox. Got it. Okay, that's what I said. But yeah, still a die-cast family. But to execute this, could this be done? Would this transition to a 164 to a blister pack?
Absolutely. I mean, this is a Hot Wheels, right? I mean, it's incredible. And you know, what I liked about the other gasser was how it was unexpected. I think this is even more unexpected in a way. And that paint, like, it's a beautiful green. I believe it's a Volvo green, but it kind of has the impression of being British racing green, right? Yeah. So, which I think is cool, and that kind of speaks to the whole global nature of it. Like, I love that it's American style, but it's a British guy, but you know, a Swedish car, you know, it's just all over the place. Yeah, I love that.
And then Kevin Bacon was in A Few Good Men. Always comes back to A Few Good Men. Sorry, that was deep.
Well, you know, it's funny because when drag racing first started in England, I had a friend who was over there in those days, and they'd go, "Be careful, they're going to burn the clutch out." You know, because they would like throttle off and then hit the and then this guy showed him, no, just dump the clutch. So you put a new clutch in. You know, they expected it to last.
They want attrition.
Season. They want to last the whole season. You know. So, but when you watch early drag race, they go, you know. It wasn't until later they really got into this type of thing. Which makes it fun.
Absolutely. So that's the progression we're talking about. Now they're just dropping the clutch hammer, burn up tires. That's what's up. All right. So there is our UK submission. Now we move on to our Mobile One fan vote winner. Now, this is a great looking car. Like I said, this is begging to be driven. It's here in the building. I've seen this vehicle in person before. It's an absolute piece of art. And this is the 1990 Porsche 911 Baja, owned by TJ Russell. Let's hear from TJ.
Hi everybody, my name is TJ Russell, and this is my 1991 Porsche Baja 911. It is the love child of a Porsche GT3 RS and a trophy truck. It started off as a fairly clean 1991 C4 convertible. Every part on the car that you see is custom and handcrafted. It has a built 3.8 liter engine, an all-wheel drive drivetrain, and a really nice luxury interior. What would it mean to me to have my creation made into a Hot Wheels is hard to put into words. It would be a little bit of a trophy as to what has brought me to where I am today. And even more importantly, if this car gets made into a Hot Wheels and the next generation sits and plays with it in their sandbox, and we could unknowingly be inspiring the next generation of car builder, which means a lot to me, and I think that would be very special.
Great looking car. I love this thing. I want to take this home in one-of-one version. TJ's new husband, fairly recent new father, but this is his baby. He's actually selling this thing to help fund the next iteration of the Baja 911. and I've seen videos of our friend Matt Farah. He's been shredding and hammering on this thing. This car is very capable. That's what's really cool about it, is the function is the fashion. So sorry to just take the lead on how emphatic I am about that car, but you guys are the judges, so no pressure. Jay, what do you think of this?
Well, I think it's brilliant. It's an unbelievable build. The trouble is, I feel like I've seen it before in the sense that if you go to any Porsche Panorama meet or any of those things, there are different iterations of this. Not this. This is a unique build that he did himself, and you can spend hours looking at all the detail. The trouble is, I think visually, didn't I see a car like that before? Yeah. That's the only, when you think of Hot Wheels as being totally off the wall, bonkers things you've never seen before, like the Volvo Gasser is the exact opposite of this. It's just, it looks like something the Porsche factory built almost to win a race. So if any, it would get hurt only because visually it resembles other cars, even though it is unique to itself. And I think it's just brilliant.
Moment of silence. Woo standing up. Woo, it's a miracle. It's a miracle, Woo. And I know you're a Porsche guy. So.
I had this car too. This is it. No, this is, to me, I think what you said makes a lot of sense. It looks like what if Porsche built this car, which I think is kind of the point. Like, I love the fact that the fit and finish is so good. I don't know if you can get an angle from the front. I mean, this thing, the track is so wide. I think they extended it over a foot. It's just so wide, so mean. This, to me, is definitely a top contender. I'm a huge Porsche fan, but this one takes the cake for me.
And this is the Mobile One fan favorite. So you have to think, if this gets made, I'm joking. Mike, how many TVs it got?
It's got one nice one in the dash.
GPS?
Hey, it's got a Switch Pro.
Henrik,
you know what I think is what is cool about this is gone even further than any other Porsche before. I mean, it's super wide. It's got that feel. I mean, the one thing this vehicle is truly have that feel you could drive it anywhere at any time. It's really cool. I mean, the proportions are amazing. You know, what he did with both the front and the rear, I think is pretty cool. These little carbon fiber, is nice. So it just has that feel like you can actually jump in this thing and just drive it out in the desert, and it's not going to break. You feel like this is not going to break.
It has all the right parts. I mean, when you look underneath the suspension, how it's prepared, I mean, this is developed just for this vehicle, and that's the intention is building this, developing it overall, and like you said, nice classic interior touch. But what are you looking at?
The plexiglass. The
custom molded rear, so obviously
taking the rear glass.
And you can see the power plant in there. Obviously, it's got to have some juice.
It's super detailed. I love all the detail. Like, this is another one you could spend hours at just looking at all the little areas and stuff. And that's always fun to recapture in 1/64 scales to get all that. As well as, I mean, turning a car into an off-road vehicle. The other thing I'm really amazed learning in the video was that this was a convertible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
didn't catch that the first time.
I didn't catch that until the video, but I mean, you see the parting line there, but the doors are solid, and it just like, wow, another shock factor. But the other thing, for an off-road vehicle, this thing is incredibly, impeccably clean. I feel like I could eat off of this thing. Where's the dirt? Where's the?
You got to look underneath it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been shredded.
I'm going to go down to Baja next week for the 1000, so I'm willing to take this down, and dirty it up, and bring it back. If that's what you like.
To that point, of all the cars, if this was we get to take one of these home at the end of the day, this is the one I want to take home, right?
You'll take the long way, though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cruiser everyone's backyard.
But to Jay's point, it does feel like I've seen it before, right? There's so much Safari Porsche stuff is really hot right now, but so it doesn't maybe feel as unique as some of the others, but it's definitely
if this was a Porsche-only event, it would win.
Yeah.
Or if it was an off-road event, it would win. Mm-hmm. In terms of, it's not outrageous, it's incredibly practical.
Yeah.
Right. So you need a little bit more outrageous to be where it almost feels like this is in a class above everything else,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like I said, the function is the fashion, aesthetically, drivability, all of that. If this was like, okay, which vehicle can survive the longest, I would say this might, outdo the Scraptona.
Yeah. And you like stuff you can eat off of.
I hear that a lot. Brennan over here. Yeah, I'm just hungry.
You haven't missed many meals. But look,
gosh, wow. Wow. Okay, thanks, Jay. I guess the last time I'm coming here. At least you're not serving. Oh, you're only kale. I get it. You're really catering my food prep. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. All joking aside, let's move on to our final vehicle number 10, representing Germany. And this is owned by Mick Venkstern, and the vehicle is called the 2018 Venkstern. Here we go.
Mein Name ist Mike Venkstern. Ich komme hier aus Norderstedt. Ich bin hier auch groß geworden. Sieht man, glaube ich. Das ist ein Fahrzeug, was es so eigentlich nirgendwo auf der Welt gibt, sondern wir haben die Ausschließlichkeit da drauf. Wir haben dieses Fahrzeug entwickelt und das Besondere an diesem Fahrzeug ist eben halt, es ist klein, ne? Also es ist ein Einsitzer, hat eine mega Straßenlage, also den schiebst du auch mit 70 um eine 90-Grad-Kurve und du denkst, du fährst auf Schienen. Also ja, einfach, was soll ich dazu sagen, toll. Dieses Fahrzeug ist knapp 2,20 lang, 1,15 breit und in der Standardvariante ungefähr 65 cm hoch. Das Fahrzeug hat eine Variomatik, das heißt also, ich brauche nur Gas geben und bremsen. Hat 13,6 PS, 10 kW, läuft in der Spitze, eingetragen mit 88. Und das war natürlich, als wir das gehört haben, dass es da eben halt einen Wettbewerb gibt, haben wir einfach gesagt, weißt du was, mit unserem Auto sind wir genau richtig. Also noch durchgeknallter geht's ja kaum. Da haben wir gesagt, da machen wir mit.
We're all just sitting here laughing at the thing because it just looks, it is a Hot Wheels. That's 164th already.
Yeah,
our
job's done. Yeah. Well, I want to tell you, I speak German, so I understood everything you said.
Okay.
One of the things you said was that this has an amazing road holding, and it's got 13.6 horsepower. And it may be enough for that small car. He says it's much more tiny in reality than it looks. There's only a one-seater.
I saw
It's
that.
smaller.
Yeah. I love it because it is so un-German. It is so, why is there rust? Why would you send a car to a show with rust on the car? It doesn't, I mean, it is so, I mean, the guy must be only half German. I don't know what the other half is. But to have something that's so deliberately inaccurate and rusty, it just goes against every German person I know because they don't, you know, if a man has no hair, why would you call him curly? It doesn't make sense, you know? I mean, it's that, yeah, it just, oh, yeah, it just, it's funny. And I gotta say, as a comedian, this makes me laugh. You pull in a car show with this, I think everybody smiles, everybody has a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, the tongue-in-cheek aspect of it, and the fact it's from Germany, really makes me laugh because you know there are Germans going, why is that thing? That's just not the, yeah. That's just not the AMG. It's just not, yeah.
Sarah, is that gangster?
Yeah, it's I don't even know what I'm looking up. But the name is like, it's that sauce that you can't pronounce. That's just, I can't even pronounce that
Worcestershire?
name. Yeah, you can. It's cute. That's all I have to say.
Cute, totes adorbs.
Yeah.
This car is totes adorbs. Well, Jay, I am seeing he's a trained florist who got into wrenching because of his brothers after a couple beers.
Oh, they
So it does start to check out.
You could tell alcohol was involved in the building of this car. I'm surprised it doesn't run on alcohol, just to keep the theme going.
Yeah, exactly. Brian.
What I can't believe is it's street legal.
Oh, not in Germany. Oh my God.
It has plates.
It's got German plates, and he says it's street legal. He said he got
really
registered.
Yeah, what streets in like Euro Disney?
I don't think that's on the Autobahn.
No.
I love this car. I mean, I think it's fun. It's shocking. We're all up here laughing, talking about it, enjoying it,
Yeah,
smiling.
exactly.
And you know, kids would, or anyone too, seeing it on the shelf in stores, and just the fact that, you know, Hot Wheels has whimsical stuff too, and we have for many, many years. So I definitely see a home in the line there. The one thing that would be the challenge for us, at 1/64 scale, all different size vehicles get generalized. So a semi-truck, a school bus, is as small as a go-kart or anything else.
Right.
So if you make it proportionally as small, it's not going to read as 1/64th anymore. So you lose the essence of it being a small go-kart at 1/64th. I mean, you can make it a little bit smaller, but it's a subtle
Yeah, I mean, we kind of
trick.
achieved that, like with the pedal car and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do to an extent, but it's you still lose some of that differentiation.
How do you make the rust?
We can do rust.
Yeah, roadkill cars.
The Nash, right? We got the rest on the
Like
Nash.
the aluminum car. How do you make aluminum, right?
Yeah, well, we do the Bear Zamac, so yeah.
Okay. And Jay always talks about this. Still, to this day, Hot Wheels, you know, the classics are 99 cents. You can only charge 49.5 cents for this
There you
vehicle.
go. You get 2 for 1.
You save money, half
right.
the blister. Like, I mean, the material saved on this vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, it has 14 horsepower. So 1,400. Well, I digress.
But it shows you going slow could be just as much fun as going fast.
Yeah.
You know, and going slow and something like that, driving through town, would make people smile and laugh. So yeah, I think it's great.
I'll say that next time you take out your supercar.
Yeah.
No, Jay, it's better just when you go slow. It's better like that. You look cooler. You're like, okay, shut up, Jared. Moving on. Go eat your kale salad.
That was right.
Hey, Hey, are we having fun, guys?
Absolutely.
Come on, absolutely. Thank you. So there it is. Again, we've seen all 10 cars, and we'll culminate them here in just a little bit. But of course, want to thank our presenting sponsor, Mobil 1. We saw the Mobil 1 twin mill, again, celebrating that iconic vehicle, new livery, and of course, the twin mill Mobil 1 diecast right there. The Mobil 1 team wanted to pay respects to the millions of Hot Wheels fans who have stopped by a Walmart location or tuned in online over the past few years. So now you can get your hands on a brand new special edition twin mill. Just head over to mobilepromotions.com/Mobil1twinmill. So again, as we are excited about this vehicle, and Brian, the Legends Tour truck, you know, we always drop certain ones. They go quick, right? So again, you go over to you know, go to Walmart, go to Legends Tour truck, but why do they go so quick? And why do you like this car, the Chevy Silverado?
Yeah, I mean, it's hot, man.
It's stolen.
Yeah, I mean, these things are so hot right now, and I mean, everything we offer like this is it hits on all those things that the fans love, right? I mean, the paint, the deco, you know, livery, so to speak. The stance of this car is amazing. So, yeah, I mean, I see why people are.
What do you think about the NFTs? Introduction to NFTs.
Oh man, it's exciing. Yeah.
It's a great addition, right? Because it's all about collectability and creating something exclusive and unique.
Yeah.
And again, just the technology. So, and there's only 50. Am I hearing that? 50 of the NFTs? Is that what we're saying? 50 of the Chevy Silverados. Gosh, sorry. So 50 of the Chevy Silverados, and then 50 of the twin mill.
50 of the twin mills.
Copy
Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah. So, so we work closely with our partners at Mobil 1 on this. Created an amazing deco for this car. I mean, the livery you see behind me, it's incredible. And I'm really excited how it turned out. I mean, I've never seen the twin mill look so good, you know, and I mean, it's an amazing car to begin with. So, but yeah, offering 50 of these cars for some lucky winners.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much, Brian. Again, go to mobilepromotions.com/Mobil1twinmill, and you could win one of 50. That's right, 50. So again, Brian, don't go anywhere with my
I saw you
diecast
try to steal it earlier.
One of 49. It's gonna try fight me for it, okay, Brian? I'm hopped up on kale salad. Thanks, Jay. So again, go to Legends Tour Truck, HotWheels.com/Legends Tour Truck. Pick up your Chevy Silverado diecast, exclusive Hot Wheels Legends Tour swag, and also remember the NFT Full Series 1 drop will be available for purchase on HotWheelsNFTG.io at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, November 16th. Good luck. All right, so we've seen the 10 vehicles, but let's take a quick look back, because again, if you can recall, car one, it feels like ages ago, because we're just having so much fun here at Jay Leno's Garage and talking about who will be our overall winner, Hot Wheels Legends Finale 2021. Let's take a look back, just a quick little synopsis. I mean, feels like ages ago we saw this Nissan 350Z. I think we all liked it. We could change some things. Again, you know, Sarah, your thoughts real quick as we walk through these vehicles.
It's gangster. It could have been more gangster if he was static. That's all I'm saying.
And speaking of gangster, you know, this rat rod, we talked about hot rod and how unique this vehicle is. Elena, like you said, just hot rod, it's a broad term nowadays. And talking about Canada here, US and Canada, the high class, the gasser mixed on that Mercedes-Benz, again, that TriStar, you can see the blower sticking out top. All gasser, all class, high class. And then the scrap Tona, mismatched panels. I think Fisker, this is going to be the new vehicle in 23 for you. It's going to be all electric. I'm joking. Would you ever do a mismatched panel vehicle that has your name on it?
Probably not.
Okay, just throwing it out there. The Capella, loud and proud. The Rotary, again, representing New Zealand. A really cool car, that Mazda Capella. I like that vehicle. And then the Malaysian winner, the Daihatsu, the van that I think I might be able to stand in it. Really cool ice cream truck. Speaking of ice cream, Jay, what's for lunch again? Kale and ice cream after that.
Yeah, there you go. You could eat off of that.
You could. It's not me, it's Brennan. Matuski over here wants to eat off this vehicle, the Lulu. And we heard from that winner. And it's great to see that vehicle here in person because, like I said, no offense to Paul, this thing is more striking in person. Then you shrink it down, I think it will transition. Everybody was emphatic about this vehicle. And Ms. Scher back here had some great words about it, its history, its lineage, and the daughter's now driving it being ripped around at an iconic track that is Santa Pod. Then the Baja 911, Ted Wu. Oh, Ted Wu's leaving in this vehicle, the Baja 911. He's now pulling it out. Sorry, TJ. The vehicle's now property of Hot Wheels and Mr. Ted Wu, the Mobil 1 fan favorite. And then the car that brought us all giggles, and of course, we do need a tetanus shot for this vehicle, as Jay said. Doesn't know how this vehicle is German, but really cool vehicle there. A blazing 13.5 horsepower. All right, so now we're going to go a little bit more in depth, and I'm going to go around the horn. I'm going to go over here to Mr. Vituski, and just overall, your picks going through these 10 cars. The variety is just insane. I'm seeing so many notes over here. Mad Mike, now I know why you're mad. You're scribbling like a doctor over here. But Vituski, your pick, your thoughts on all the vehicles overall.
Well, I mean, this comes to be the hard part, of course. I mean, there's so many beautiful entrants. I mean, not even just today, but just throughout the whole competition. Yeah. It's never easy to just pick one because honestly, 99% of them could and should be in the line. That's just the truth of it. Going through here, I mean, I love the variety. I love being, having this global because we're exposed to so many things that we wouldn't otherwise see. I mean, you get isolated in a way of just working in the way we do, but this really brings the whole world to us, and it's an amazing experience to be a part of this, and it's always great. So I do want to thank everyone who's participated and entered it, but I mean, for me, I mean, I still love something that's going to read at 1:1 scale, 1/64 scale, and vehicles like the gassers that have the engine sticking out, all those visual components, even the Porsche, the Wangstern with the shock factor of just the scale, like some of those are my favorites.
Yeah, it's really hard to narrow it down. And again, what's at stake here is, again, winning the coveted title that is the Hot Wheels Legends Grand Finale winner, and then being immortalized as a 1/64 diecast, and you join the Garage of Legends. So we're going to rip through the cars here, spend a little bit more time elaborating about them. Mad Mike, this Nissan 350Z, like you said, had an iPad, not a bunch of technology, but did have an iPad. But overall, I think very unique.
Very, very unique. For the guy to take a wrecked car and just make this figure out of it, it was just awesome. And then to put the technology inside, it's just a man my heart,
Yeah.
It's incredible work he did.
And a garage-built car, Henrik, you were really admiring the lines and the execution of it overall. I thought that was really
I thought it was very cool the way he kind of took the inner of the car out in front. I thought that was really cool, and he kind of painted it nicely and made it up. I also really liked that P1800 Volvo. It was clean the way. It's very difficult for anybody, especially a designer, to stop putting stuff on a car, and he kept it so clean, which I liked. And all these cars, Lulu, I mean, beautifully done. So it's really tough because they were all fantastic efforts and unbelievable.
Elena, let's talk a little bit about the Rat Rod, the Mexican built, the three pedals. But what do you think of that vehicle?
I mean, first of all, just the owner seemed so sweet. His video, he was talking about his family. He said he was the youngest of 9 kids growing up, and then he has his own kids, and the car has, a tribute to them in it. Plus, it already looks like a hot rod. Like you could feel it in your hand just looking at it, how fun it would be to hold it or to send it sliding across the floor.
Go on those tracks, rip around the suspension. That'd be really cool. Yeah. Maybe Redline Club. I think this car would really flourish on like the Redline Club. Getting just a little more refined kind of deal. I don't know. We'll see. As we move on to our next vehicle, and Ted, you really like this car. I think this was one throughout the year that you kind of like the juxtaposition of Gasser meets Mercedes-Benz, and this is our U.S.-Canada winner, that high class. But if you could elaborate on that vehicle.
Yeah, that's a really, really fun car, really unique, and I'm glad I get to talk about it when Brendan's sitting right behind me. So that's thank you. It is the juxtaposition. Like you don't normally see Gassers and Mercedes mashed together. So I think there's something really fun and unique here. Obviously, we've got 2 Gassers in the competition. So then you're like, oh, like which one between these 2 is better? It's a toss-up. It's really hard. But they're both beautiful.
No, I think it's a really cool car. The work is done. It has the tank up front, has all those elements. And next up, the Scrap Tona. This again, Richard Petty powered engine, the power plant. It's just so many mismatched panels. I'm going to go over to Mr. Benedict, Brian Benedict. Talk about this vehicle overall. Again, it's here in the building. It just has these caricature style elements to it. But overall, is this the winner?
I mean, this obviously reads as a Hot Wheels. It's got that stance and proportion, and you got all the different color breaks and stuff, which is fun. A lot visual there to work with. I'm a big fan of the car, for sure.
When you do the swipes, again, the deco, when you actually execute the vehicle, there's a lot of colors that we're going to be running through if we're screening this vehicle, right?
Yeah, this one would definitely give us a
run for your money.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot to figure out there and how we would execute that.
No, really cool car. As we move from the scrap Tona, I'm gonna throw it to Jay Leno. Let's talk about this Capella. You know, just taking a look at this, like you said, you own a couple of them, but I think you admired, you know, the vehicle being from New Zealand,
Right.
Japanese, but kind of has an American flair to it.
Yeah. Actually, I have 3 cars. I have the Volvo, I have the Lulu, and the Mexican one.
Okay.
And you know, the tough part for me is the Lulu is built by a professional engineer, as opposed everybody else looks like they're kind of young. You know, we had a design competition, and I brought Henrik in to help me design one. You know, he's a I mean,
the ringer.
The amount of engineering work in that almost hurts it, because I feel like it's taken the amateur thing out of it. You know what I mean? That's a beautifully built professional car, the one I'd most like to drive.
Yeah.
The Volvo is fun because of what you've all said, and the family involved. And the guy looks like maybe sells insurance during the week, and he loves doing the. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's that. I love the feel of. And the guy from Mexico is another favorite of mine, because he's a guy, and it's a Mexican-built car using a Mexican guy and Mexican. But I like the fact that it's all done locally. So I'm torn between those 3.
Yeah, because you get your pick. Don't reveal.
I'm not going to give my pick, but it's a bit like the only thing that hurts Lulu is like we're in the soapbox derby, and you brought a couple of GM engineers in to build your soapbox.
Wind tunnel test.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I mean, and I don't know if that should even be. Should that be a criteria, guys?
Oh man, the plot thickens.
Well, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. You bring in somebody that's built a Riddler before and brings it over here.
That makes it a little tricky. So I have to err on the side of probably the more enthusiast building something.
All right, garage build.
Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned Malaysia earlier. Let's take a look at this this Daihatsu again.
Okay.
And Sarah, I know you're a fan of this. You said you lived in Japan for a few months there, and these K cars, totes adorbs. I think they're awesome. But then with that American little juju sprinkled over top of it, Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this car, I think, so in the end, we are going for what should be the next diecast, right, for Hot Wheels. All these builds are amazing. I mean, everyone, I feel like, was all evenly passionate about it, and you know, from
side pipes, I just see that.
yeah. So, but I think for a Hot Wheel diecast, this, like, I'm torn between, actually, even if I was saying about the Z is up there, the Daihatsu is up there, and for me, the Capella is up there too. And so I think, especially the Daihatsu, I mean, like Ted said, they haven't really thrown a Daihatsu out there, right? There's so many of different type of Daihatsus.
Yeah.
And they're pretty popular.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and that's going for the international love and throwing it out there.
For the Hot Wheels like route.
Yep, but there's no participation trophies. You know, once you get nope, there's only one winner.
Only one winner.
There's only one winner.
Right.
So as we move on to our next vehicle from our Daihatsu representing Malaysia, we move on to the Lulu. And as Jay was talking about it, just a really cool build. Henrik, you were talking about if it drifts, it's going to catch air. A little bit of you know, catching flight here, like the Wright brothers. But the Lulu, very awesome, unique vehicle, and again, seeing it here in the building is extra special. So, Batuski, what do you think of the Lulu?
I think it's been said already. I mean, it's an amazing build. It's so clean. Like when you look at it up close, you can see like how perfect the TIG welds are, and you know, all the A-arms and the suspension, everything there. Like, you know, all the pieces are cut, and like Jay said, you know, they didn't miss a rivet. There's no scratch. There's no dimple where like there's a foot that stepped on it getting into it, or you know, anything like that. It's just this perfectly built car.
Yeah.
And
will this transition and basically shrinking it down, put in the shrink ray machine to 1/64th?
You would lose a lot of the intricate detail that you would see at 1-to-1 scale, so it would kind of look like a wedge race car or something like that. I think some of the other cars would translate in 1/64th scale a little bit better, just because of all the visual gross shapes and forms that you have.
But it is the one car that reads as a Hot Wheels original, as it is, right? Like it feels like it could be a Hot Wheels original, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dior 2, twin mill, right? All these vehicles that are iconic.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very cool. All right, let's move on to a vehicle that we all loved, coming to us from UK, the Ain't No Saint, the Volvo P1800 Gasser. Who wants to talk about this car?
You know what I want to say about that one? It's so nicely done, the way he removed the bumpers. He kept the shape so clean, and then you just see how the wheels come out in that giant engine in the front. but he kind of he didn't overdo anything, which I think is so nice. I mean, I would like cruise down Sunset Boulevard now.
Yeah.
It's just like classy, right?
Yeah.
It looks really classy.
And you're not used to seeing a gasser look that classy and that clean, right? And it's a British guy's idea of doing a gasser, right? Very proper.
And English never use ain't. Just the offense to the Queen's English. I like.
Mind the gap. No,
Right,
definitely,
right.
it doesn't work. Doesn't
Ain't no saint. No.
Ain't no saint. It sounded like Henrik. You were like daydreaming. I cruise this down.
Yeah.
You like checked out there for a moment. Checked out for a moment.
I'd like to see how far you get down Sunset before you got pulled over. Yeah.
If anybody knows about getting pulled over, Jay, it's you.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, exactly. The Ain't No Saint, really, really cool vehicle. Love that. But another vehicle we all want the keys to. And again, Ted Wu, thanks for rejoining us after driving it around the block real quick. The Baja 911, this is our Mobile One fan favorite. And you, the fans, chose this one out of all of the Mobile One fan favorites of the year. So we saw this vehicle in El Segundo, and overall, you chose this car, the Baja 911, Jay.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant car. Again, the only thing that hurts it is other people have done their interpretation. It is so practical, it is so useful, it is so beautifully done that it looks like it could have been done by the factory.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that would hurt it. You know, it almost feels like it's almost out of place in this show because it's not outrageous enough, you know. Being a Baja, it has to have certain rules and regulations, you know, so that it kind of is a sameness. Although it's completely different and original, it looks similar to other vehicles. So if kids are looking at a Hot Wheel, they go, oh, this one's more, you know, Daihatsu looks, you know, outrageous.
Yeah, well, it's on time, right? I mean, the safaris are popular. You go to Lufthansa, you see, you know, this.
Right.
This is on time. So this is just a little, you know, we need to test this thing for doping because it might be on steroids. But overall, the Baja 911, shrink it down. I mean, this is the people's champ. They've spoken, so it's obviously going to sell.
Well, and that's exactly. I mean, and when we've seen it before, you know, it's one of our favorites. And the fact that the fans love this car, I mean, it obviously speaks volumes. You know, I love it. Personally, it's like I said, it's
It's so wild that we could be sitting here right now looking at a lifted Baja 911 and going like, it's really not wild enough. I mean, that shows how how customizing, you know, people do something and it's outlaw and it's shocking, and then everybody gets into it and it becomes mainstream. You know, I mean, that is a shocking car, guys. Yeah, like it's still a shocking car.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw a Baja Por. I went, oh, that's the most ridiculous thing. It was a Paris to Dakar race, I think, it was 20 years ago. I thought, well, that's ridiculous. And, oh no, wow, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's sensible now.
All right, so our final vehicle, who wants a good laugh here? The German car that is the Venkstern. We all just had a resounding, I mean, I don't know if I'd fit in this car. You got to grease me up before to get in this thing, but I'd look like Bowser or Grape Ape, just pushing along with my knuckles. But the Venkstern.
Well, this completely disproves the theory that Germans have no sense of humor. You know, but it's true because I think it's fun, it's lighthearted, it's so anti-German. I mean, in Germany, you get pulled over if you even have a scratch on your fender, the cops nail you on that. So I mean, just how far would you get down the Autobahn before they just they'll just pull you right over? Yeah, and that's what I love about it. So to me, it makes me laugh. It shows that Germans have a sense of humor about this type of thing. Yeah. And it's silly. It's fun. If there's one vehicle that would make people smile, at the end of the parade, this is the one that all the
Shriners hats, the whole nine.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. On 2 wheels.
Yeah.
Elena?
Well, I think Brandon said the only problem with this car as a Hot Wheels is that if you shrunk it down, since it's already Hot Wheels size, you'd need like a magnifying glass to find it. It just wouldn't exist anymore.
Yeah. I think.
Wheels, are they like 8-inch wheels?
But he keeps them clean.
Everybody else.
They're kind of clean. That's fresh rust on there.
And what's funny is it's constantly transforming because Make, the owner, he actually applied, it's going to transform. So it's gaining more rust. It's like a chia pet. It's like a chia pet of vehicles. It's going to grow moss. It's, you know, it's pretty cool. I mean, it has 14 horsepower, so easy.
It went up half a horsepower.
What's that?
It went up half a horsepower.
It did. I know. Put a half. My bad.
Put a blower on it?
Put a kazoo. It's a kazoo. Just, yeah. All right, so as we're talking, Jay, like I said, don't reveal it, but because this is your clubhouse, this is your house, we've bestowed it upon you. You get to pick one vehicle that I think the owner will really take some pride in because of your assortment of vehicles.
Well, the one I would pick only because of his age and of where he's from and is the Baja one, the Mexican built.
The rat rod. The rat rod, the Volkswagen.
I mean, I love it because it truly is a rat rod. It was done on a budget. It was done using. This is what I had to make a car out of.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll rather than thinking I'm going to start with a Volkswagen, it looks like, oh, I had this and I'm going to make something out of it, which is the real spirit, I think, of Hot Wheels, taking what you have, almost recycling. You're using all old parts, so you're not contributing to the environment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know that sounds silly,
totally.
but it's something you have to sort of keep in mind these days. I like the fact this is sitting out in the field. Let's take this thing that was worth nothing and make it worth something. So to me, that's what I like most about that one, is that it's all locally built. I think that would be my choice.
Let's recount the criteria: creativity, authenticity, garage spirit. Yep. This has all of it.
And it looks like a Hot Wheel.
Yeah. I mean, I like when they did the tilt shift shot there. That actually looked like, right? It looked like a diecast.
It's all done.
It's done. There we go. Honey, I Shrunk the Rat Rod. So there's Jay's pick. Congratulations to the Rat Rod. And again, you should really tout that given your eclectic love and variety of vehicles. So thanks, Jay.
There you go.
You can eat off it.
Well, do you hear that? Do you hear that? That's a scrap toner? No, it's my stomach. I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet. But you know what you're going to get is a diet of who is going to be our Hot Wheels Legends finale winner 2021. There can be only one. We've narrowed it down to these 10 vehicles. And look at that. We are seeing, how are we doing out there? There are owners, look at that, the talking
They're
heads.
watching us the whole time?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is streamed live, Sarah. I don't know if you knew that. Sarah's like, oh no.
Some people are up very late.
Yeah, some people are up very late, depending on where they're at. So thank you guys for joining us. You guys having fun? Thank you. Thumbs up if you could hear me. There we go. There it is. Awesome. All right, well, Ted, come on up here. I'll be right back because I got something, because you're basically going to do the honors of announcing the Hot Wheels Legends 2021 winner. I'll be right back.
Great to see the builders out there. Very, very cool. Hi, guys. Jay, thank you for having us, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
This
Thanks
has
for
been
doing it.
phenomenal. Thank
There
you
it
very
is,
much.
Ted. So we're moments away.
All right. Well, again, amazing, amazing year. Thank you to everyone who's made it to this point. And again, thank you to the judges. Thank you to Jay. Jared, thank you to you.
Oh, thank you.
Again, phenomenal year. But the 2021 Legends Tour Grand Finale winner is the Volvo P1800. Woo!
Look at that. There he is. Congratulations, the P1800 winner. Again, chiming in from the UK. Hey, can you hear us? Ain't no saint?
Yay!
Right. What time is it there right now?
7 o'clock in the evening.
7 o'clock.
Oh, that's not even bad.
Yeah.
It's
dinner time.
Did Elena explain that properly? You built the vehicle, and who's with you? Who do we have here?
Yes, I'm here myself. I've got my 3 daughters. This is Eleanor. No, hang on, wrong side.
How much wine have you had?
Introduce.
I'm Ellie. I'm Sarah. And I'm Tori. And we have my daughter, Bonnie as well, my daughter Bonnie. So
we've got the rest of the family, but we can't get them all in.
Ted, this is awesome. International, and look at this, an international vehicle wins. Not even here in the building, just admired from a distance. I mean, it's pretty cool.
This is what it's all about. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for being entrants and fans. I think this shows what a global and multi-generational brand this is. And again, without your passion and enthusiasm, and fans like you, Hot Wheels wouldn't be what it is. So congratulations, you guys really deserved it.
Well, thank you very much.
Jay, please.
Ask him if he ever gets to use the bathroom in his house with all those women.
Yes, but I have to wait my turn.
Well, congratulations once again. You obviously are a saint. Are you wearing a shirt with your graphic on it as well?
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Hey.
Well, guess what? Might need a copyright infringement there, but regardless. Congratulations. Let's take a look at your vehicle once again, to you and your whole family. Ain't no saint. This awesome Volvo P1800, 1969. Lee Johnstone and his family, his daughters, his granddaughter, you can see there. I think we can all agree, right? I mean, obviously you did. It's really hard to narrow it down, but I think this just really embodies all things: creativity, authenticity, garage spirit.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, I mean, so many cars here are deserving. This one, I think, really captured all three of those criteria. And again, I think among all of us was really a top choice.
Yeah. All right, so thank you, guys, gals. Thank you so much. Congratulations to Lee. That is it. That's a culmination of the Hot Wheels Legends Tour Finale 2021. Congratulations to the Volvo P1800. Lee Johnstone, I'm Jared Deanna on behalf of Hot Wheels. Jay Leno, thank you so much, my friend. Anything else to add?
As Jared would say, let's eat.
It's actually send it. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you online. We'll see you another time. Peace out, Hot Wheels Nation.